Trace, how you doing today, bud?
Good man, good. I got a lively kid. Just heads up today.
Ah, what happens when you have children, huh?
Yeah, she liked them late 6 o'clock naps, so she took one from like 6 to 7:45. So she'll be wired for a little bit, but
Or
I'd rather her be wired than real tired and cranky while we're in the middle of the breakdown. So I'm cool with it.
fair enough, fair enough. Man, a little bummed that I got set back. So I knew the computer, I say machine. I knew the machine I was going to use to stream probably was going to struggle. Man, I tried running some test runs. Fuck, it can't even do it. So I'm a little behind. I'm waiting on computer parts, and then I think I'm going to bring in a second internet connection. So a couple weeks behind. A little bummed. Pretty motivated to get onto the video end of the show and get to using the studio that I spent however much time building. So short of that, fucking pretty excited about UFC 309 fight week, man. And I won't lie, bro. I'm really excited that the Mike Tyson fight is on Friday. I assume you'll be watching the Mike. Oh, you got to work. I assume they'll have that fucking fight on everywhere. You're at a casino, right? Well, either the baby has got your ear, or you are.
No, I'm just old, man. I'm not very good at this technology shit. Uh, I close out the app to like there. I'll not close out the app, but I scroll to another app, and it took me forever to figure out how to get back. Uh, if I wasn't working, I'd probably watch it. What time does it start? I only work till like 8 o'clock, so
I don't actually know what time I don't know what time they fight. I think this card starts at like 5 or 6 o'clock, fairly early. But boxing
depending on
card.
how long it goes, if it's after like 8 o'clock, I have a good chance of at least making the tail end of it. The casino, they won't have it on if it's only on Netflix because it's we don't have Netflix on the TVs. We have like Direct TV and shit.
Damn.
But yeah, you would think so though. But I guess I don't know. I guess not.
So yeah, prelims at 5:30. Main card at 8 p.m. So they're probably not walking till fucking almost midnight, bro. Boxing pace is horribly slow. So I just assume you have plenty of time to at least see the main event. It's probably the co-main and the main that we want to see. That co-main, that Serrano versus Taylor fight, that's going to be a good fight. I mean, probably not.
I don't do much of boxing anymore. Honestly, outside of the big names, like I just watched a video the other day with like Caleb Plant like slapping people. I didn't even know he was like a I guess a wannabe gangster like that, like just walking up on hitting people before fights. But yeah, man, Serrano and Taylor, I do know the names though.
Yeah, they had a banger of a fight on a previous Jake Paul card. This is the run back, I believe. I don't watch a ton of
Ah,
boxing
okay,
either.
okay. See, one of them Irish?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. It was a pretty big deal, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like boxing has anything that's really, really big, if I'm being honest anymore. I never feel like I feel like Fury versus Ngannou was probably the biggest thing in boxing in a few years. I know people could probably pull up pay-per-view numbers and be like, "No, you're so wrong," but this side of the combat sports fandom, it sure does seem like boxing. Boxing is struggling to find big fights right now. Um, Turkey is way overpaying to make them happen, and I think that's a tale of the signs or tale of the times. I said the signs, tale of the times. But did you hear that Turkey bought Ring magazine from Oscar De La Hoya?
I did not.
Yeah, Turkey bought Ring magazine, and Ring has some titles, I guess. I didn't know that, but I heard Ariel talking about that. Ring has some titles of their own. So all these super fights that he's trying to put on, while these other promotions are stripping these guys of titles because you got to fight this guy and this guy and this guy. Um, Ariel says that he suspects that Turkey may just start using that belt as like the super fight belt, and then all of a sudden you've got a whole fleet of ring champions, and now you have something that looks a little bit more like the UFC. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think Turkey's trying to make some moves over there. I I don't know. I'm torn. I'd like to see boxing get fixed, but I'm such an MMA fan right now that I can't. I just don't give a shit. Like, if I'm being honest, like, boxing is so far gone for me. You will never make me feel like boxing is not rigged. That's my problem. Never, ever make me feel like boxing is not rigged. So, whatever. Did you see the video of Yan Xiaonan beating up her boyfriend?
No, that's news to me.
Oh, bro, she runs in the room, just starts fucking wailing her. She got arrested for it. She starts hitting him with 12-6 elbows to the back of the spine when he ducks. I mean, she didn't like knock him out or nothing, but she was for real trying to whip his ass. I don't know what he did. Yeah, I don't know. The Upfront MMA posted that it was overcooked rice. Um, I don't know how true that is or is not, but
Damn, she don't fuck around with the rice, does she? Or the rice.
yeah, I want to try some of her rice. It must be really good. Like, I don't know what else to say. Um,
Get paralyzed good, huh? Elbows to the spine, good, huh?
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't. Wait, hold on. I almost booted Usman here trying to invite him to co-host. Um, anyway, yeah, she was trying to take his ass out. There's a video circulating now about how the UFC is owned by a bunch of Jewish people, and how Ari Emanuel's father and relatives and the other owners of Endeavor's relatives were all shitty people. I feel like I already went through all that like a year ago, but I can't remember the guy's name. Ian, whatever his name is, he does a ton of like conspiracy videos. Super Ian Carroll, I think, super famous. He posted a video now digging into all of it. So now apparently it is all a big deal that Ari Emanuel and his Jewish conglomerate own the UFC and who their parents were. Yeah, whatever. That's all I have to say. Whatever. I feel like I've known the UFC is on a. The UFC as I love it, the sport of MMA as I love it because of the UFC, is definitely on a limited time table, I guess would be the word. It's going to change big. When Dana White leaves, it's going to change huge. I think that it becomes, I don't know, much less freedom of speech for the fighters, and I don't know, much more like a sports league treats their talent like, I don't know, I guess similar to the WWE, where they don't really speak for themselves. The matches don't make any sense. Not that they always do now, but I think it all goes to hell. And I think it gets sold after Dana White retires, if I'm being honest. I think the UFC gets sold within 5 years of Dana White retiring. Um, and probably sold to a conglomerate of companies, of investors, including the Saudis. Trying to give Mike some time to get in here. I didn't write up a ton of topics for this week. I do have a few bookmarked though, so I can hit a few more. But if you guys got any topics, Usman, nice to see you on the mic, bud. How you doing?
Can you hear me? Check, check, 1, 2.
Yes, sir.
Fucking out here, freaking unraveling the damn mess that this dog made with the leash and stuff. Man, It's been a long ass day. Hey, yo, that was not Yan Xiaonan beating up her husband, bro. That was some fake video of somebody else, and you could tell by the overhand rights. This bitch was throwing those hooks all the way from left field. There's no way that that was a professional fighter. No, no, sir. No way. I don't
It
believe it.
made me like her more, so we're gonna say it is that. We're gonna say that is her because it makes me like her more.
Hey, can't argue that.
That's how I
Can't
feel
argue
about it.
that.
So, did you guys see that Bilal Muhammad's toe was a balloon? He had to pull out of the fight. It was a
Bro,
balloon.
I saw somebody post a video of him talking about it and then posting the audio of Conor McGregor saying my foot was a balloon. That shit was killing me.
I posted that prick.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Bro, I watched that video, or not that video, but I saw the picture of the toe, and I can't even imagine the amount of pain that he has to be in just walking. Like, dude, that thing was so fucking big and red. It was pretty nasty.
I guess that's what he gets for going on a 2-week campaign about how Conor McGregor is a pussy for pulling out for a toe injury, huh? Guess
Oh yeah,
it sucks to suck.
Fuck that.
karma's the bitch.
Fuck that. That's what he gets for freaking talking about Charles Oliveira cut his face on purpose so that he wouldn't have to fight Islam. Fucking asshole. That's why I immediately saw it and said, "Oh, he probably did it on purpose. He probably faked it."
Oh
Fucking
shit.
bitch.
Yeah, Bilal is one of them guys, and now he's gonna be mad at everybody that says the same shit about him that he was saying about them other guys. He'll be mad as hell at everybody who has an opinion about it. Whatever, fuck him. You get what you get in life, right? Um, I know I got a few more bookmarks here, and then we'll roll into the card. Let me uncheck that one. All right, bros. So last week we kind of talked about the Conor McGregor case. So that is not the incident at the basketball game. That is a woman who says that Conor took her to a hotel room and him and another male assaulted her. Um,
I told you there's way too many for us to be sure to be like, that's the one.
yeah,
And that's really fucked up to think about, man.
yeah. And actually, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Khabib himself, posted, "Rapist, you are a rapist. You are a hypocrite who is responsible for your actions. Justice will find you. We will see." At Notorious MMA. And he posted a picture that the woman suing him posted of the two of them in what appears to be a bathroom with him trying to stick his hand up her skirt. Um, yeah, I I would say that it's weird to me that there's no criminal charges. She's suing him for money. This isn't a criminal case. I don't get it. He didn't go through a criminal case for this, from what I understand. There's not a
I'm
criminal case.
I mean, like who's to tell somebody if it's true, who's to tell somebody what their justice is? But millions and millions of dollars instead of getting this guy thrown in jail. I guess it all depends on where your morals are. I've watched a lot of Law and Order SVU. Shout out, Mariska Haggerty. And do you want this guy to stay on the street or you want to cash in some big old bucks?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I would not accuse her of that unbeknowing. I'm not defending him in any way, but when someone has that much money, you also have to, I don't know, there's always that shadow of a doubt, which maybe isn't fair if I'm being honest and being fair. That's not fair if I am being fair, but I don't know, that's just what it is, man. Always that shadow of a doubt because of the amount of money he has. And some of the statements that it's being said that she made in court, I don't know. That shit is fucking wild. And I just, I don't know. It feels fake. Like, I don't know. She said that after he held her wrist, he said something about, that's how I felt when I had to tap 3 different times or something like that. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying it didn't happen. That shit just seems wild to me. Almost like troll wild to me, but who the fuck am again, who the fuck am I? I guess last thing I got, and we can talk about some fights, is, did you guys see the Michael Chandler interview with Ariel Helwani?
I'm seeing a lot of clips going around about the internet trying to say that he cheated on his wife or some shit, and it's a clip of Ariel Hawani show. I don't know.
So I listened to it, and I did think to myself, man, what did you do, Mike? So Mike said that in the lead up to, what was it, 254, I think he was on. He said he really crossed the line, and his wife had to stay by his side. See if I can find the exact quote here really quick. Here, I got the clip. Hopefully you guys can hear this clip. Let me do this really quick.
Oldish silver, and she looks like a freaking angel. There was 20,000 people in the arena, and all I saw was her. And I remember just apologizing to her in that moment for reasons that she did not know. I was going through something that she did not know about because I needed to protect her from it because we were away from each other. And she knew, it's just funny. She knew it was a different, I'm sorry. Because I knew I let myself down. I let her down. And sometimes in life, you have to go through these battles. You have to go through these things that are so, so, so painful to become the man that you need to become, to be galvanized by the most ridiculously painful fires that you would never wish upon your worst enemy. And yeah, that was the last fight, and that was the last 30 seconds I was in the octagon. So now we get to right that wrong and get back in the win column on Saturday night.
Could I ask what you're referring to? What you were apologizing about?
No.
Okay.
But someday it'll come out. But let's just say it was the worst camp of my life.
So you're actually saying I'm sorry in that moment, because the video's from the back, but then I saw the photo and I was like, oh wow, this is the different perspective.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about non-fighting stuff in that moment too.
I thought about non-fighting stuff every single day for that entire training camp.
Wow.
So when I heard it, I was like, man, that's pretty cryptic. I thought maybe Mike lost his temper. But it's weird that he says he was away from her dealing with some stuff. And then he says the worst camp of my life. Worst camp of my life makes me feel like Mike might have lost his temper. But the fact that he says he was away from his wife, if I had to guess, I'm just guessing for the sake of talking about the hot topic that's on Twitter right now. Man, Mike might have had another woman, and shit might have went sideways for Michael Chandler. I don't know. Weird conversation. Any comments on that?
My comment is, I know why I didn't listen to the clip, because it's like 15 seconds in. I can't listen to Michael Chandler, man. I like the guy, but Jesus Christ, I can't even. I did not digest not one word because of the way he talks, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. He doesn't actually say anything. Cade, get after it, bud. Nice to see you in the room. Happy
What up?
UFC 309 fight week, bud.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to say what's up to everybody. I don't really have a comment on this situation other than, I don't know, pretty weird thing to say. I mean, I guess that's just something you say to get people talking. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Weird situation. Cheeto Vera completed the New York City Marathon on Sunday. So that might have been last Sunday though, and it just might be an old bookmark. He completed the marathon. Yeah, I guess on the 3rd, but the pictures weren't posted till almost a week after. Okay, I don't feel like people who run marathons necessarily win fights, but I couldn't run a marathon, so fuck it. Good for Cheeto Bear. If that's a whole ass marathon, bro, that's 27 miles. It's quite impressive if I'm being fucking honest. But man, I don't know. Train a little more because you're struggling. I guess that's all I got, man. We can talk about this card. I didn't write up a formal show or anything, man. I'm really eager to get over into the podcast format, and the holdups are the holdups, but we'll be there soon enough. Let's see. You boys ready to get into the card? Trace picks fights.
Ready as ever.
Let's rock, brother.
All right. UFC 209, Madison Square Garden, going down this Saturday, November 16th, 2024, in New York, New York. First fight of the night. How many fights are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's not a full slate, but that's a full card. That's a nice card. I hate fucking 15 fights. It starts getting too long. They haven't done 15 in a while, but we've seen 13 and 14 a few times. I like 12. I actually like 10 if it's a good enough card, but whatever. You know me. I don't want any announcers or anything. Just get the fucking fights on. First fight of the night, Veronica Hardy versus Arada Maror. I know I say her name. I know I say it wrong. I know that I do. Sorry, guys. I should have the odds ready for this. Trace over there, like, God damn it, Joe, tighten your shit up. All right, so Hardy is minus 152. Moura is plus 124. I've seen both of these women fight. I didn't do any tape study for this. I know Veronica Hardy has looked really good lately. And Denise Gomes beat up Moura, split decision. I'm not real hot on this fight, and I'm not real hot on the over, if I'm being honest. I do have some bets for this week, but this one is probably a skip for me altogether. I know Usman is hammering the over. Trace, what are you playing?
Yeah, I actually like the Moura side on this fight. What did you say the lines were on this fight?
She's plus money.
From
You're if you take, I mean, this is the average, but she's plus 122 on average.
Yeah, I just think she's gonna be the. I mean, I know she's the bigger girl. She did struggle with cardio in her last fight, but that was at 115. This is at 125, so she did make the move up, whether it was her choice or whether she was forced to move up. Man, she is relentless with the wrestling, and Veronica Hardy needs room to strike, and I just don't know that she's going to give it to her. She's going to walk her down. I think she's going to pursue the wrestling, and honestly, like I think this fight goes over. I do think it goes to decision, but I would not be surprised if she's able to get her out in that first round because she is hell on wheels in that first round. But then after that, the fight if the cardio is not fixed from the weight from her moving up, then second round, third round, whenever she starts slowing down, if she slows down, if it is if it isn't just the weight, uh, man, Veronica Hardy is gonna tear her up on the feet in round 2 and round 3. She doesn't move her head off the line. Veronica should be the faster, stronger, faster, cleaner striker. I don't know if she's the more powerful girl. We'll find out in this fight, but yeah, I think this is a good fight that goes to a split, man. I do think Moura wins the split. I think she wins round 1 and most of round 2. Before we start seeing some striking exchanges where Hardy starts getting the better of the fight. But yeah, give me more decision, more split decision, and the over.
Man, a little surprised to see you on the dog because I do think Hardy is the side, but no surprise that you like the over at all.
Well, if you go back and read the tape, I've also been honestly, just I'll be like truthfully, honestly, I'm not the biggest Veronica Hardy believer. I don't think she's as good. I think she takes periods of time off to improve, but I think we're also starting to see. I mean, she's been in the UFC for 8 years. I think they said, uh, but it's been long periods of her taking off time to train. I just think we already see a finished product here. I think she's probably as good as she's going to get. But yeah, I think Moura is going to be a problem, especially if she can get the cardio fixed and figured out.
I ain't mad at it at all. Mike, what are you playing here?
Okay, so I will say this: the cardio issue, the weight cut will not fix that because it's just her pace, and she's fought at 125, and it's shown the exact same thing that her. If you go past the first round with her, her pace will slow, and it will slow big time. Veronica Hardy is a lot stronger than she looks, and she is very mobile on the feet. I believe that first round is going to be um, it's going to be dangerous for her because Mauda is no joke on the ground. But after that, I think Veronica is going to piece her up, and I think Veronica's the side, plain and simple.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not mad at Trace for being on the dog here, though. I do agree with what he said that she's not like she doesn't have the greatest skill set. I'll leave it at that. Usman, what are you playing?
So, of course, over. But I am looking and I'm a liking Eduarda Mora. I think people just, I'm not going to say she's going to outstrike Hardy because she isn't, but I think people are just throwing away the baby with the bathwater when it comes to her striking. An old stat that I used to do back when we first started doing these control time threshold. And what that means is you look at all the amount of time that it's taken for Veronica Hardy to lose a fight based on how much she's been controlled. And the only outlier is the Bay Malecki fight where she lost that fight and was controlled less than 2 minutes. Everything else, when she's been controlled over 6 minutes, she's lost. And I just think Mura can do it. Even saw her against Diniz, who had a good performance last week. And they needed to split it.
He's cutting out.
Yeah, I was about to
Okay, I
say he just
thought I was
started
the
cutting
only
out.
one.
All right, I'm
No,
on Mora.
he started. Fair enough. I heard that. Cade, what are you playing?
Yep, I'm on side with Trace and Usman on this. I just think the grappling advantage is pretty sizable there. I like Moura in this fight. If her cardio gives out on her, then it fucking gives out on her. So be it. But I just think if she does what she's supposed to do and grapples, she has a pretty easy path to victory. So I'm going with Moura. I haven't bet her yet. I don't know if I will. I can't. It's very hard for me to bet lower women's MMA sometimes. But if I do bet this fight, I will definitely take the dog.
It's not hard to
Fair
bet lower
enough.
women's MMA if you're betting the over, brother.
What's the price tag on it though? Most of the times that shit's like minus 400, 315 or some shit. It's like you got a parlay. What is it on this fight though? I don't even know.
I'm looking right now for you.
Minus 300.
Yeah, 300
Yeah.
on 2.5.
That's pretty typical for these types of fights, I guess, right?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, a little worse than average. You get 250 a lot of the time, but 300, it's not far off. YB?
Yo, I didn't realize you guys had already started the space, but I see you guys are talking about my girlfriend. I have Hardy by points or submission. Mora has only been a decision twice, I think, and she won them by split. and it's been a while. She's not really the decision person. Hardy is coming off of like 4 decisions in a row, and I think at some point she's gonna start finishing because she's kind of still like gearing up and everything. So not like too much of a crazy breakdown, but give me my boo thing by submission.
I actually don't think that's a bad take. I expect that we will see Hardy begin to finish soon as well. I do think we are seeing vast improvements in her game. Next fight up is Bassil Hafez versus Oban Elliott. Minus 238 for Oban, plus 190 for Hafez. The over is 2.5. You're getting minus 160 to take it and plus 205 to fade it. I seen Oban on the Ariel Helwani show today, and he's in a pretty good headspace. Doesn't seem like doing the media deal had him overwhelmed or anything. Seemed like maybe he's not so busy and just trying to buy his time to get to fight day. So I don't put a lot into the fact that like the media could be affecting him or the media scrums could be affecting him. But I do really like the over here. I feel really confident this fight's going over. Neither one of these guys are finishers. I've done tape on Elliott before, and I feel like I've done tape on Hafez before too. Anyway, Elliott's not a finisher. He is definitely the side. But he's not a finisher. So he could, it's MMA, it's fighting, whatever. He could get a finish, but I think it's likely Oban by points. I feel it's a pretty easy take. I'll throw it to Trace. Zabets, I see you on the mic, bud. I'll get over to you on a pick. Nice to see you in, bud. Trace, what are you playing here?
Yeah, throw to somebody else real quick.
Ah, shit. Mike, what are you playing here?
Okay, so I agree with you. The over is a pretty easy play. I wouldn't say that they're well they okay. So as far as finishing wise, I think it's just stylistically they will not be able to finish each other. Haf- Oban Elliott has shown that he is able to take a shot even though he is open really badly defensively, 4 shots, he's shown that he can recover really fast and really get back in the fight. Hafez has also shown that he can take a shot. And far as for the grappling, I believe the side. I think either way, the side is Hafez. I believe the power is going to show itself, especially with the striking. I believe the timing of Hafez, even though he does look stiff, his timing of his strikes is really, it's really good. Like he really knows how to time his shots well. If you remember Jack Della Maddalena, even though that dude is a sharpshooter, he picked his shots well and tagged him a, a lot. It was just that he was just outmatched there. I don't think he's gonna be outmatched here. And in the grappling, even though Elliott, I would say, is better has better technique when it comes to wrestling. I just think the power is just going to be show itself there too. Hafez is really top heavy. He is really hard to get down and control and establish top control on him. So I think Hafez. I believed when they opened, it was kind of like the lines were a lot closer, and I was thinking Hafez. But now that he's such a big dog, I am really going to have to bet him in this spot. But the over, hands down, that's the best bet you can make on this fight.
Agreed. Trace, get after it.
Honestly, dude, I thought pre-tape going into this fight, especially at the dog money like you're talking about, I thought I was gonna be all over Basel. But after watching the good thing about watching the Basel fight versus Mickey Gall is that they're both fighting on this card, and it was both like their last one of their 2 last fights, in their most recent fight. So I could watch tape for 2 guys at once. And it was also the first time I actually watched the Mickey Gall fight versus Basel because I'd worked during it. But yeah, man, I was super confident going into that fight, betting Basel. I mean, and he did win the fight, and deservingly he did win the fight. But man, I feel like he should have dog walked Mickey Gall, in all honesty, chose to strike with him. Didn't really pursue takedowns where he should have. I get jujitsu, but like they're both jujitsu guys. He has the ground game, the more powerful ground game. I figure he'd go out there and try to crush him. Decided to strike with him instead. Man, if he does that same game plan with Oban, like Oban's striking is nice. His takedown defense is nice. I get it. They did like the one of the takedowns that he stuffed in the Preston Parsons fight. Daniel Cormier was adamant that it was Preston Parsons doing something wrong more than it was Oban doing something right at the end of it. The quick hips were good for him because he does have quick hips and a good strong takedown defense. But man, I just feel like the motor's there, the cardio's there. He definitely has the cardio to push this fight. He has the cardio to go with Hafez, and he has the cardio to keep going when Hafez slows down in the second and third round. Man, the clean striking, the 1-2s. I think he's going to piece up Bassil in round 2 or 3, and he probably wins a decision. But I will definitely be touching the round 2 or 3 KO for Oban Elliott. I do, like I said, I thought going into this fight pre-tape I'd be on Bassil, but I do think that if he decides to strike with him, or if he isn't able to get Oban down, if the takedown defense holds up for Oban, man, Bassil's in for a long night. So yeah, I'll take it. Sure. I mean, I'm not gonna play the money line on this fight, so I'd probably play the decision in I'd probably play the round 3 or decision prop on FanDuel. Honestly,
Dang, me and you are like completely different opinions on this fight. I think Hafez has the striking advantage here.
I don't know, man. The way like Mickey Gall
Dude, that right
hurt
hook
him.
is gonna be there all day.
Mickey Gall hurt him on the feet. Like he is not the better striker of the two. Preston Parsons was getting tore up on the feet by this guy. Honestly, I
Okay,
think Preston Parsons would fuck up Mickey Gall.
well, yeah.
So I mean, he outstruck the better striker of the two. I mean, and honestly, the wrestling, him and Preston Parsons. Preston Parsons is a little bit more refined than Bassil Hafez is. So honestly, I just think Preston Parsons is a better version outside of probably the explosiveness in the grappling. I think he's probably on par with Bassil. And like I said, if he does not pursue the wrestling, if he decides, like he said at the end of his last fight, I wanted that fucking knockout, I'm getting it the next fight. If that means he wants to stand and bang, he will get fucked up in this fight. Mark my words.
Against Elliott?
Yeah, against Elliott.
All right.
Man, this will be one to talk about next week.
Dude,
Usman, what are
better
you
this
doing with
one
this
than some of
fight?
the other potential ones it could have been on, honestly. I'm just glad it's not a heavyweight fight.
Usman, what are you doing with this fight?
Well, there's my segue because I like Oban Elliott. I hate the number. I think Mickey Gall is a weird double-edged sword here because everyone should say he's a shitbird that is not a good win on his record. But on the other half, he's kind of looked like he's improved. I thought he looked improved in that Hafez fight. There's a reason why Hafez's losses are all by split decision, except for one. I'll give him that. But it's because he gets hit a lot, man. And he loves to put his fucking face out there. I'm liking to take that number down. We're gonna go with Oban Elliott by split decision and try to get some plus money on there. And that'll be the only prop besides the over. Because we always hit the over.
Uh,
Not mad at it at all.
Favor Usman, if you could keep track of the overs that you're planning on playing, because I do want to tell you. I've been saying I'm going to tell you. I end up never doing it for whatever reason, whether it's just forgetting to or whatever. But I want your over parlay after the end of this, please.
For sure. Got you.
Zabats, I think you had your hand up on this one, bud.
Yo, what's good, Joe? What's good, everybody else?
What's happening?
Shout out to the speakers. Shout out CapMMA.com. I'll just say it quick. I got Oban. I'm a huge fade of. I want to fade. What's his name? Hafez. I don't think he's that good. That's it.
I mean, he's not that good as far as UFC caliber goes. So I can't be mad at you at all about that.
He should have beat Jack Della Maddalena though. That
Why do you
fight.
say that?
Remember when he came in and he took that? That's where he became like such this name off of. Remember he stepped in on short notice and he gave Jack like this crazy fight.
Yeah, I do, but I mean, you think he won that fight or something?
Nah, I was joking, but I'm just saying he did step in on short notice. That's why a lot of people like him, to be honest. I mean, he wasn't really like I feel like he wasn't really known until he came in and put on that performance.
It was an
Yeah.
impressive performance, though, what he did to
Oh yeah,
Jack.
no, I agree with you 100%.
But
But I,
it's also very much contingent on Jack Della Maddalena being everything that we think he's gonna be. Like if Jack goes out there and starts getting starched, then what is his best? I mean, he lost to somebody that's not that good. You know, it's a lot. I don't like betting on somebody because I think they were good because they lost a close fight to this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I do.
I get it. I guess lost in translation. Who we got
Yeah.
next, Joe? It's that
Next
coon
one
ass
up.
baby.
Next one up is Ramiz, Brahima, and Mickey Gale.
Mickey
Uh,
Gale.
yeah, I know. Fucking Mickey Gale. Mickey Gale minus 137. Brahima plus 111. Over 2.5. You're taking ship money at 155. Plus 125 to take the under. All right. I can't believe I'm saying this. I cannot fucking believe I'm saying this. Mickey Gall is the side. He is. He's the better striker. He's maybe not the better pure grappler, but he's the better scramble grappler.
He's a better
Uh,
crappler.
yeah, we can go with that. But he's more explosive. His scrambles are his scrambles are very explosive. Um, he's not a great striker, but he is the better striker. I know he's 6-6 in the UFC, but if you look at Brahima, I don't have it in front of me. I should because I was going to say it. Let me click, 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 click. All right. Okay. So if you look at his record, do you know who Michael Gilmore is? Trace, you know who that is?
I do, but it's only because I watched the Ultimate Fighter.
Right on. Sasha Pavel Tonic
Sasha
something.
Palatnikov. Yeah, he's on a few people's highlights reels. He was a
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But he doesn't have a highlight reel. He's just on people's highlight reels.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, those are the only two guys.
Oh, I think you made a highlight reel out of Ryan Cosi, maybe.
Those are the only two dudes that Brahima has beat in the UFC. Court McGhee, Max Griffin, Thimba Garimbo. I mean, he took Thimba to decision, and I know one of you guys are probably going to give me shit about that and say the fight goes over. I think Mickey Gall finishes Brahima by submission. I know Brahima's never been submitted. I know, but that's just what I think. Let's switch it up a little bit. Mike, tell me why I'm wrong.
Oh no, I don't think you're wrong. I think he just needs to survive 2 minutes. That's the Brahim strong point. After 2 minutes, I think Gall's got that fight. I think he is the better striker, only because of the power he generates in close. Especially if he has you in the clinch, that right hand is a knockout punch. But other than that, like when you watch Brahim strike, it's really just it's pitter patterish. So it's that's not going to do nothing to Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall will have confidence once he's able to survive the grappling, and I think he can finish him. I honestly think he can finish him, but yeah, I'm staying away from this fight just because it's Mickey Gall. But yeah, I think he's the side.
Yeah, I know, right? No one bets Mickey Gall by submission in the second round, but Mickey Gall by submission in the second round might be real sexy. Trace, what are you playing?
Honestly, it seems like we're mostly on the same page. I didn't dive too much into this one. Just more or less looking at the record of Brahimov. Like I said, I watched the Mickey Gall fight. I do think he's probably the better fighter of the two, which, like you said, is painful to say. Um, Brahimov seems to only be a submission threat. But durable. He does have one KO loss, but it's to an injury. It's not an actual real knockout. Other than that, he's only lost decisions. So I feel like the decision's probably safe. The over's probably safe. I'd probably go with the over if I'm playing something on this. If the finish happens, it probably comes like you said in the second or third round. But yeah, depending on the line, man, I might touch that line myself if I can get them at a pretty good, decent submission or KO prop. I would probably just take the KO just because of submission guys hard to tap out another submission guy. So I like the over, Mickey Gall, but probably won't have too much invested in this fight.
Fair enough.
Shitbird candidate of the night, Usman.
What did you say?
Shitbird candidate fight of the night.
Yeah, it seems like it, man. I'm on Gall too. I would like to take the over. Uh, I'm kind of hey, we're all aligned here. It's Gall. It's potentially over. Let's clench our butts a little bit for a Gall submission. But if we touch them props, I mean, we'll be cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a shittier birdier fight on this card, man. So yeah, that's shitbird fight of the night. Let's go.
Oh shit! I ain't mad at it. I don't see no hands up, so I'm just gonna scoot on.
Is that what that power
Uh,
feels like, man? I feel so strong now that I got to choose it. Dude, you better watch out. It's going to my head.
Man, we're gonna start betting on track. We're gonna start tracking these bets soon, having a little friendly competition, see how we do. Man, I don't fear how my picks do, but the bets, bro, the ability to scale and beat you guys on bets. We'll see how that shit goes. Up next, Jhonata Diniz versus Marcin Tybura. Tybura minus 139, Diniz plus 112. Over 1.5 gets you minus 140. The under gets you plus 110. So this is a tough fight to touch. And what I mean by that is this is Diniz' test. This is it right here. If he goes in there and does what he is supposed to do and knocks out Tybura in the first round, maybe the second because it's Tybura, but if he goes in there and finishes him like he is supposed to, we're going to see Diniz get a big push. And probably some favorable matchups, and he will be the guy to bet for a little while, I am sure. We'll probably get to bet his ass against Waldo, and some other scrubs. And I shouldn't say that. I don't think Waldo's a scrub. That wasn't right of me to say, but some other mid-level guys that probably favor him. He's fucking huge. But Tybura is like that immovable object. Tybura is a true gatekeeper, in my opinion. I like Diniz by KO if I could get a good line on it. I think Tybura by decision is not a bad play. Even Tybura by finish in like the third. Because he may gas him isn't a bad play if you're looking to really find a few bets and see if you can hit on one. But I think Diniz round one is viable. Tybura round 3 is viable. Trace.
Yeah, man, I'm on the opposite side of this fight. I'm all over Marcin Tybura here. I'm probably gonna take that submission prop, submission round 1 or 2 on FanDuel. Probably take the round 1 submission prop as well, just to lock it down. I do think this is a huge leap in competition for Jhonata Diniz from was it Carl Williams. Uh, we've seen in the who was Austin Lane fight where honestly Austin Lane was winning that fight until he gassed. He just death gassed. He took him down in the first round, held him down the entire first round. He could not get him away. All it was a football tackle. Not much takedown defense was shown in that fight until he was tired. Then he couldn't get him down again once he was tired. But yeah, man, if Tybura goes in there, dude, he's got to shoot. Once this fight starts, he goes in there. They touch gloves. Throw a punch, shoot, take it down. he should be able to run through him pretty quickly here. I think he gets the submission round one. If he does not, if he decides to stand and bang with him and give this guy all the time in the world to strike with him, he will probably go to sleep. But I think Tybura's game enough, smart enough, and been around long enough to know what he needs to do to win against certain fighters. And I think he knows that he needs to take down here early, quick, and I think he pursues it. So yeah, I will take the dog, especially when the dog's a better fighter, and the only reason that he's probably a dog is because it's short notice. So under submission round one, submission round one, round one or
Bro,
two
he's
on
the
the FanDuel.
favorite. He's the favorite, Trace.
When I saw it the other day, he was the dog, like at dog money.
Oh yeah, he's as deep as minus
Well,
148 right now.
well, yeah, but dude, he should be such a bigger favorite than that.
Nah, well, I mean, I see what you're saying. That's why I said this is a tough fight to bet. But I think Jhonata KO is is the bet that the UFC wants. If I'm being honest,
But I mean, it shows you what they think of Diniz or a little bit because Carl Williams losing a decision to Jonathan Diniz was enough to lose him his UFC tenure. So yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like it should be a clear Marcin Tybura fight.
man, I'm not mad at you. Usman, what are you playing?
Go, Mike. I'll be right back.
Go, Mike. Usman will be right back.
Okay, so I'm I kind of agree with Trace with the Tybura pick. I understand it. My only problem is, and these are two very big things when it comes to a kickboxer like Diniz, is his defensive striking guard. When he throws, it is really bad. He can get countered easily because it's not like he has both hands up. He only has one, and it's not really guarding his face. And whenever he gets in and out, his hands are completely down. I think Denise is probably going to knock the first round. He is going to be very open for a knockout because Denise is not playing those type of games. When he sees that he can hit you, he's going to hit you. And he's got even though it's not a big reach advantage, he does have the reach advantage, and he knows how he understands his range, and he gets it really early. Outside of the first round, I think Tybura can he does start flowing, and once he starts flowing, he'll start mixing in the takedowns, and I think the takedowns is going to be a big difference for Tybura because when Tybura gets him on the ground, Deniz is not really. He's almost like Robelis to Spain on the ground, and Tybura is really vicious when he gets somebody on the ground that is that open. He can really go for the finish. So as far as money line goes, I cannot pick a side. I think the best bet is under 2.5. I know if you can get alternate rounds, the under 2.5 is set at -210. I think someone is getting finished. It's either Tybura in the first, or Tybura in the first, or ground and pound finish by uh, Tybura is going to ground and pound finish Denise in the second.
I agree. I agree. I think the under is a very good play.
Yeah, and that was gonna be my only pushback for Trace's bets, is he was gonna take the 1-2 sub for Marcin. I was gonna say just take 1-2-3 for either fighters. We're getting plus money on inside the distance at plus 155, plus 100. If you want to take it that route, I'm really leaning with Joe and saying this is it's not a fight that you want to bet. We could end up getting screwed and have Tybura go to a fucking decision and just hold him down the whole fucking fight, and you lose those round props too. So this one I won't be getting on. Looking at the numbers, the strat says it's supposed to go under, but it's a 1.5. These are ranked heavyweights. They're not true shitbirds that are gonna give us the the over 1.5. So just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Let's watch some tape on Diniz, and let's see what else we can get for him.
I ain't mad at it. I'm bringing up my sports book right now. I'm gonna drop a couple bets while we're in here tonight. I think so. I usually try to wait. I sincerely enjoy dropping my bets on like Friday. But I think I want to do a silly bet with Mike Tyson in it. So I should probably get that done tonight. Bro, I don't need another verification code. Bitch, I just logged in. What the fuck? Man, they probably just gave you guys all my information now. Don't worry, ain't shit in my betting account. Y'all don't want nothing to do with it. Clean that bitch out. Anyways, up next is shit. I knew what was up next. Oh, Jim Miller and Damon Jackson is up next, right? I ain't even on the card. I know
Yes,
that's what's
sir.
up
Yes, sir.
next. Let me grab the odds for that one. I think I know what they are, but Jim Miller plus 135, Damon Jackson minus 167. The over 1.5 is at minus 260. What the fuck? All right, one of the places was reporting fucked up. They wouldn't do over 1.5 at minus 260. They would push it to the fucking 2.5. So it's got to be over 2.5 minus 260. Under plus 200. I don't know. Something's fucked up about that line on our site, I'm sure. I'm very surprised that I'm not surprised Damon Jackson is the favorite. I'm surprised that the fight going over is favorited. I think these guys beat the shit out of each other, and I think we see a finish. I can't say that I'll bet the finish, but I can say that I think I'm betting Damon Jackson in a long leg parlay. Not huge on this fight though. Two old guys. I always like the old guys, but when they fight each other, it starts getting a little. I don't know. Starts feeling like you're just betting to bet sometimes. YB hasn't really gave much tonight, and he's got his hand up, so I'm gonna let him get it first, boys. YB, get after it, bud.
Oh, yo, I forgot I had my hand up. It was for the Tybura fight. I was just gonna say Tybura is so fat and sloppy. I fucking hate that dude, bro. I hope he gets cut. Anyways, this fight, I cannot. You're talking about Miller Jackson right now.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that Miller is the number that he is. I think people get, I don't know, maybe caught up in the whatever hype he's got, I guess. I feel like Jackson's just gonna fucking ruin this man, to be honest. And he's coming off of a loss. Like, I feel like he's just gonna get murked. I can't believe that he's a low number. I want to take probably a big shot on him if I can find a way
Yeah,
to.
so if I'm being 100% honest with you, I would feel the exact same way. Like I would sincerely feel the exact same way you feel. But I I felt like Damon looked very diminished against Chepe, and I know he beat
To be
God,
fair,
I forget.
everybody looks diminished with that pace that Chevy puts on.
Yeah, but you got not fucking not Mickey Gale. Who's the other fucking man, who did he beat? Alexander Hernandez. So Jim Miller, bro, he looked bad against Chepe, and then he beat Alexander Hernandez. But I mean, it wasn't his greatest performance. I know that he won the fight pretty. Some people didn't feel like it should have been a split decision. Some people felt like he really wrapped it up, but it was a split decision, is what I'm trying to get at. And he didn't look good against Billy Q, in my opinion. And Dan Ige flattened him. Where I'm going with this is Damon Jackson is up there in years, and since he got flattened at this age, doesn't seem to look the same. Um, I do think Damon Jackson is the side, but if Jim Miller lands a big overhand right and knocks him out cold, I won't be surprised. I'll say that.
But
I'll say
did
that.
you? But did you cap his hair? He's got a new hairline now, bro. So he's basically 28 again.
I mean, he's probably got a young girlfriend and some gas station dick pills too. We'll see how he does. We'll see how he does. What are you playing, Usman?
So you're the website's right, bro. It's over 1.5 minus 260. I'm gonna throw that into a parlay
That's the
right now.
stupidest fucking line
It's
in
going to jump.
history.
It's going to jump. Don't
Yeah, that's
worry.
how it goes. It goes from over 1.5, and when it gets too juiced, they jump to 2.5.
Parlay it now because it's going to be gone. I think over 1.5 is pretty clear. I don't know which side I want to go to. I kind of like, yeah, I was kind of a downer on the way he beat Hernandez, but he did mix in his wrestling. He did throw in the knees, throw in the elbows. He did dog it out a little bit. Um, at the end of the day, it's gonna be which dog has more bite in him, and I want to say Damon Jackson a little refreshed with the weight cut, got me coming up to 155, throwing in some wrestling to try and stop Jim Miller from putting on the attack. I'd like to go with Damon Jackson, but over 1.5 right now. Get it done right now.
I can't get it on my book. Man, I don't want to jump ahead. Why is the over 1.5 set for the John Jones fight as the primary over? What the fuck?
Oh, I have a very stupid line to point out when we get there too. But Veronica Hardy fight over 2.5. Oban Elliott fight over 2.5. Mickey Gall fight over 2.5, and Jim Miller fight over 2.5. We are looking at plus 318, locking it in right now.
Damn, that's not bad on that at all. Um, Mike, did you get in on this fight?
No, but I'm pretty sure in the group. Well, no, that was our group chat. All right, so I'm on Jackson too. I honestly think the pace that he fights at is gonna wear down Jim Miller. But Jim Miller's a dog. He's not gonna get finished. I don't see uh, Jackson getting finished either. I don't think Miller's got that big shot to finish. Uh, I don't see him having that Ige power. That Ige hits different than Miller. And I can't hold the Chepe fight against him because it's Chepe. I can't hold the Alexander Hernandez fight against him because Hernandez now is more of a dog than he was back then. And Billy Q, he actually came out and said that he was going to go out and try to finish him in the first round because he knew he wasn't going to be able to hang with him later on. And that's exactly what happened. He went out there, tried to finish him in the first round. It didn't work out, and Billy Q put it on him as the fight went on. Um, but that pace never slowed. Well, in the third round, it does. The third round, it really does show that Jackson does slow down. But those first two rounds are going to be hell for Jim Miller, and I don't think he's going to be able to pull it out in the end. So I think Jackson is the side, but I stay away from betting money lines on people who are moving into new weight classes because I need to see how they perform. That over 1.5 is probably the best bet of the fight.
What weight class are they fighting at?
Jackson's moving up to 155.
Oh, bro, Jim Miller's gonna knock him out.
Nah, nah. Nah, Jim Miller never really cracked like that to begin with. Jim Miller had a few knockouts early in
How
his
do you
career,
guys
but
keep saying that, bro? He's an old man. He knocked the dude out like
yeah,
8 months ago, bro.
he knocked out a can, bro. Let's call a spade a spade.
But he did it in
He
So
20
did knock out three
seconds.
cans. Besides Mota, he did knock out cans.
so with that being said, man, I think my only issue with this fight is like I'm a big fan of both guys. I do like both guys in this fight. I just don't want to bet on who's more diminished. Honestly, not only is Jim Miller getting older, but he also has Lyme's disease. So he's not only battling old age and father time, he's also battling a disease that can hit him at any moment, any day, any time. You know what I'm saying? It's a drain on his body. It's a lot, but I know he handles it well. And he said he's pretty much kept it in check for the last few years. But it is something to take into consideration. Uh, but yeah, man, dude, Damon, what is he? What does he change? He changed his name to Action Jackson, right? Uh, dude, he is so pressure heavy, and once he gets you down, dude, you cannot get away from him. That dude really is a leech. Once he grabs a hold of you, he's stuck on you, man. And he probably one of the better back takes and more dangerous guys from the back in that division. Uh,
Just the way he uses his length, right?
dude,
He
he's just
just knows
so
how to
long.
trap you.
And then on top of it, he's moving up in weight class. Hypothetically, that should kind of shore up the chin issues that he does or doesn't have. And possibly the cardio, man. Like I said, I know he's going 100%, and it might just be from the exertion, but you got to imagine that the extra hydration does help a little bit with longevity and the cardio later into the fight. But with that being said, man, this fight is so tough. Like I could see ways where Damon Jackson overwhelms him, probably abandons going for the submission because these guys have only been submitted like a handful of times between the two of them in like 60 fights. Uh, so I could just see him opting out for back control and ground and pound from the back instead of going for a submission if he's not able to get him out of there. But I think that over is the best prop here. It probably goes to decision, and I do like Damon Jackson a little bit more just because he's the younger guy. Uh, and new hairline, bro. Like you said, that knocks off at least 5 years. So yeah, man, I like Damon Jackson, but I don't really want to root against Jim Miller. So I probably won't have too much money invested other than the over.
I'm just more upset that y'all said Eric the Ghost Pepper Gonzalez is a can. Go to hell.
He is, bro. He is.
Ooh,
It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm just joking.
be okay.
Y'all just talked me into betting Jim Miller by knockout, man.
Really? Because the only people who knocked him out was Ilya Taporia and fucking Ige, man. Miller does not have that kind of pop in his
He didn't.
punches.
He didn't have that
Mike,
in his prime.
Mike, stop right now because fucking Joe is about to say that Danny Gay doesn't even hit hard and he can't even KO nobody and he can't get no
Has
bonuses.
Has anyone in here thought about the fact that Damon Jackson could sub Jim Miller?
Have you guys thought about the fact that Damon Jackson has been outstruck twice
I just, Joe, I
since
just
he's
can't.
been
I'm
knocked
sorry, bro. I
out?
love Jim Miller, bro, but I gotta ride with the boys on this one, bro. I can't put my money on 40 something years old Jim Miller. I, just,
Bro, isn't Damon Jackson older than Jim
I
Miller?
don't know how
No,
old he is, but
he's
he's definitely the
three
fresher
years younger.
fighter.
3 years younger.
Yeah, he's 36.
He's definitely the fresher
Oh
fighter,
yeah.
though, in my opinion. Like I
How?
don't know, bro. That's just my opinion. Like Jim, I understand it was Bobby Green, and that was a big step up in competition. But like Jim couldn't even fuck with him at all, bro. Like he didn't like Bobby beat his ass, dude. Like he looked slow, old. His age looked like it was just very evident. Like I don't know, bro. Like I know Bobby Green is better than Damon, but like I don't know, bro. That's just my opinion. I couldn't bet him.
Man, I'm fading all of y'all right now. I'm fucking Jim Miller by knockout. If they would give me the prop, I would take on DraftKings. I would bet Jim Miller by knockout
Welcome
right
to the
now.
Cap
Y'all are tripping.
MMA show where the host faces his hosts.
Man, I'm telling you, because y'all are not respecting Jim Miller, bro. He can knock Damon Jackson out. Damon
We
Jackson ain't got no chin
are. We're
left,
just
man.
coming at it from. Oh my
You're
god.
betting
Hey,
with your heart, bro. You're
look,
betting with
look.
your heart.
Hey,
Well,
Joe,
No, I've watched Damon Jackson's last 5
Luck and
fights.
chance,
He's
brother.
not.
Luck and chance.
no, 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 no. So let's not do a luck and chance thing because let's be real. Jim Miller can knock out Damon Jackson. I
Fuck
understand.
yes, he
I
can.
understand it was only Ilya and it was only Dan Ige. Come on.
Only Dan
No,
Ige,
no,
bro.
you be quiet right now. Don't get started with that.
Dan
Like
Ige can
Bro,
crack.
I get it, but Jim Miller, there's very much a possibility where we see Damon Jackson win the first round, come forward, put on a lot of pressure, go for takedowns, and he runs right into that overhand right. And fucking I think Jim Miller can fucking knock him out or sub him if he hits him hard enough, gets him on wobbly street. Because maybe those two have only knocked him out, but we've seen him on wobbly legs a lot of fucking times. And Jim Miller's got a disgusting guillotine. there is a possibility of Jim Miller, and I don't think it's like, oh, I mean, this fight is lined pretty close from what we've seen for a reason. Minus 170 plus 145 in these days of UFC betting, shit,
brother,
that's basically
brother.
a picking.
He was the king of the gilly whenever the gilly worked back in 2010. We're in a different era of jiu-jitsu. Jumping gilly does not work in modern day MMA. You have a few rare occasions, and it's mostly in low-level MMA. And a few up the top because everything gets shit happens. But he ain't had a nice guillotine in a long time.
Hey, look, let's stop it with this and just take the over right now before it turns 2.5.
I didn't think it was going to go this far. Damn it, Joe! You found the heavyweight fight, you bastard.
Bro, you guys are just crazy. YB, get after it.
I don't care what any of you guys have to say. John Jones is the greatest pound for pound fighter ever.
I mean, you're not wrong if I'm, just to point that out. That's probably a good way to end this fight. Man, but y'all with this Jim Miller can't knock the motherfucker out. I don't understand it.
I'll
Jim
come
Miller
back and
probably got,
apologize next week if it happens, brother. I'll be the first in line.
man. All right. That's probably enough of that one. Let me see what the next one in order here is. After Damon Jackson and Jim Miller was, well, shit's fucking loading. Sportsbook's open, so everything loads slow. Chris Weidman, Eryk Anders. Oh fuck.
Yeah, we still stuck in the retirement home.
Bro. Oh fuck, man. All right, Chris Weidman plus 105. Eryk Anders minus 128. Over 2.5, minus 215, plus 175 to go under. Chris Weidman sucks. He's old. He has no tools left. Eryk Anders is the side. These boys are fighting for their jobs. Um, this is the most skippable fight on the entire card. Cade put his hand up, so I'm going to let him get after it, and then I'll put all the co-hosts on. Cade, go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna say, just play the over, and I'm not gonna bet it, but if I had to pick a winner, you could put me down for Chris Weidman, man. Hometown, let's get it. And
I
that's
don't
with
know,
no
man.
tape at all, man. I'm just going with Chris Weidman, man. It's his hometown. Fuck it. Like, they're both not that good. I mean, who cares, man? Like, go Chris. I don't know.
Hide your erection, sir.
Uh, Oh shit. Mike, open it up for the host. Get after it.
Okay, so the over is the obvious play here. But what I would say is that just looking at their skill set, Chris Weidman has severely diminished, even though I never thought he was great in the first place. Um, Everything is just bad. He slows down really quick. His his boxing isn't really there anymore. Like that Jacare fight was fucking phenomenal. I personally thought like he just came back like a new fighter, but he hasn't been that guy since. And he'll have moments of brilliance where he's just having phenomenal head movement, phenomenal timing, but those are just moments. Eryk Anders, on the other hand, he seemed to have everything in the beginning, but he just really didn't know how to put it together. And it seems like he is really putting it together now. Now, I'm not saying he is a top level fighter, but I'm saying he can cause a lot of people problems. And he's now starting to learn how to put his striking with his wrestling and learning how to implement his size and impose his will on his opponents a lot better than he did when he first started. So overs to play. If I had to lean towards a side, it would have to be Eryk Anders.
Yeah. Trace.
Honestly, man, I'm probably going with the over, and probably goes to split, man. I think it's probably close. I think Weidman probably dominates early in round one when he's fresh, the better wrestler, the more credentialed wrestler. Uh, Honestly, their fight style are very similar. Like it's grappling heavy. Anders wants to grapple against the fence. Not really sure if he wants to do that with Weidman because I feel like Weidman should be, like I said, the better credentialed wrestler, the better, stronger guy. You would think. Uh, but yeah, I think it's going to be a back and forth fight. A lot of grappling heavy, probably a boring fight. Honestly, give me the split decision. I'd probably go Chris Weidman on the decision on that one as well. But definitely taking the over.
Usman.
Over, goes to decision, goes to split. Let's see who hugs the best.
My man.
You know, I'm trying to figure out right now. I think Chris Weidman has a losing record in New York in the UFC.
We got a losing record in general, probably in the UFC now.
Trey said, let's not narrow it down. Let's not hold him back.
To not be completely square, I'll also touch Eryk Anders by KO at plus 400.
Oh, God. Just throwing money out the window,
I
huh?
know it's gross, right?
Just like, man, I'm going to be
Say
up
this,
I
by
mean,
so
but
much.
didn't
this guy wants to bet Jim Miller KO,
hold
but
on,
not Eric Anders.
didn't Weidman and Tavares go to because I was on Tavares that fight. Didn't they go to decision?
Yeah, but that doesn't count because Tavares is the decision.
Yeah, but if Tavares can't knock him out, I don't think Anders is knocking him out either.
Yeah, but
Jim Miller
Well, he
has
mainly
Jim
used
Miller
low
has more
kicks.
knockouts in his last 5 fights than Eric Anders has in the last 5 years.
yeah, but
Right
Tavares
there.
can't knock anybody out. I could go in the cage right now and he'd beat my ass for 15 minutes straight.
But you still walking out standing.
I mean,
Maybe crawling, but
Tavares almost TKO'd him just off
Carl,
legs.
good point. Good point.
He said he'd
No,
beat
but dude,
my
Eric,
ass for
honestly,
15
Eric
minutes
Anders,
straight.
like I'm a big fan of Anders, but he definitely is a decision king. Like, dude's tough as nails, durable as fuck. Like, something's got to happen. Like, they have to stop the fight for him to come out. Like, he's not going to just go out on his own. And yeah, I think this is a very, very safe decision fight. It's mostly like you said. It's while he is tough, Weidman has shown an inability to take punishment, man, and he doesn't wear it well anymore. So I don't think he gets a knockout, but if it happened, I would not be that shocked.
Eric Anders has won.
yeah. Plus, they're both just more of grinders.
Listen, guys.
Like that makes for a decision
Listen,
fight.
guys.
Yeah.
Eric Anders has won 8 of his 17 UFC fights, and Chris Weidman has won 3 of his last 9. So we're gonna pack this one up. We're gonna go ahead.
Whew,
We're we're just
3 of the last 9.
You
yeah,
know,
bro.
this card is mostly built off of name value of old fighters. Like honestly, if you take a look back, this card like what does have name value, the fights really aren't that good because like most of these guys are coming off of like serious losing streaks.
Yeah, bro.
Hey man, that's what I'm telling y'all. Macau, Macau's the fight card to watch.
Mike, only
Yeah, these
you and
big
I are gonna
pay-per-views,
be up
bro.
at 3 in the morning, brother.
We always get trash ass cards on these big pay-per-views. I complain about it all the time. They give us a bunch
It's
of
all right,
shit.
guys. We have Paul and Tyson to save us on Friday night.
Hey, that'll be better. Hey, fuck you. That'll be better than Weidman Anders.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, and Taylor
yeah.
and Serrano should be a banger.
Taylor and
Bro, for the
Serrano
future
will
of the
be better than
UFC,
Oh,
every.
Serrano's fighting?
Listen, Taylor and Serrano will be better than every fight we have talked about so far tonight.
Yo, if Serrano's fighting, I'm watching that.
Yes, that's the
Yeah, because
co-main, bro.
last time Serrano got
Yo,
beat
that
by Taylor,
that
I'm pretty
fight's on a
sure it's a
Friday.
rematch.
yo, a lot's riding on this shit on that fight though, man. That like the future of Netflix with combat sports. Like if what Joe thinks is with the possibility of the Netflix contract and future pay per views and shit like that. this needs to go well for that to work out. So hopefully it does pan out well, and it's not some kind of like one-sided beating, unless it's like Mike Tyson beating the shit out of Jake Paul. Then we're all cool with that. But
So,
hopefully it's not the young man beating down the old man.
number one most important thing for that card is that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson walk by 10 p.m. And it's not going to happen. So listen, Netflix has at least 270 million subscribers. The number is more likely to be around 300 to 305 million subscribers. That's not people watching, that's households. And some of those people are sharing because they have that all figured out. So you figure Netflix is probably viewable by roughly 750 million households and roughly 2 to 3, maybe 4 billion people. But Mike Tyson is the Mike Tyson is the most recognizable athlete on earth. And that is because he is the most loved athlete on earth. But my parents are in their 60s and they can't wait to watch that fight. But if them boys don't walk by 10 o'clock, my mom and dad will be watching the highlight the next morning. And it is what it is. If they don't get them out, it's not going to live up. So as you're watching it, going, this is great, or it's not, all you should really care about is that they hurry it the fuck up, because that fight is going to have hundreds of millions of people watching it if they can get them the fuck out there. Whatever, that's my rant. That's my shit. But I already know what's going to happen. They're not going to walk till midnight, and all the old people are going to have shut it off by the time them two fucking walk. Whatever. My bad, guys. I went off on a rant there. Jonathan Martinez versus Marcus McGhee. Man, so now we're getting into some dudes that have some wins. I mean, I know Jonathan Martinez lost to Aldo, but you get my point. These guys aren't fucking low level. A little bit of step up in what we can talk about here. Martinez plus 112, minus 137 for McGhee, minus 145 to go over 2.5, plus 115 to go under. I like Marcus McGhee here personally, and I like him by KO, but I don't usually bet guys that fight at 135 to KO, so I'll probably just parlay his money line. Yeah, I do like him by KO here, and I really do think that it's a live play. And I'm not shitting on Jonathan Martinez at all. I think he's a really good fighter. Maybe the better fighter. I just think Court has the style or Marcus has the style to catch him, and that's just my read on it. Mike, what are you playing?
Yeah, it's the boxing, man. That dude's boxing is really just it's gonna be a problem for Martinez. Like he knows how to use his range. He's always throwing combos, not repeat. Now he's not repetitive, and he has really good defensive movements, and he can really flow off his opponents. Like if he can bring out a strike, he knows exactly what to do to slip and throw a counter off that. I think this is just Marcus McGhee all around. Like, and it's weird saying that because he's so new to the UFC, and you got this high level striker in front of him that knows how to throw kicks, punches, and he's just as dangerous. But I think McGee's got him, and I think just boxing alone is just going to be too much for Martinez.
I agree. I just think it's like I said. I think stylistically, I think McGhee is going to be able to get in on Martinez. Trace, what are you playing here?
Honestly, I went back and forth here, but like Jonathan Martinez's style is mostly off his kicks, and one thing we know about kicks with against strong wrestlers and grapplers is that you usually don't want to kick them. So I feel like his strength fights into the other guy's strength. Uh, but I don't know. I also feel like this is also a good size step up in competition for hang on a second. 1 second.
It's a huge step up in competition for Marcus McGhee. That's
Yeah, for
that
Mark.
was my hesitation when I was talking to. Like, I think he's the side, and I like him stylistically, but Jonathan is a huge step up for him.
And it's also like if he doesn't or isn't able to address the kick with him being heavy on his lead leg, that calf kick is going to add up quickly if he's not able to do something to fix it. Although the
He doesn't
counter
really
to a
check
kick,
kicks
the
though.
counter to a kick is a good punch. So you know it's I've gone back and forth on this fight. I just feel like McGee's got more tools. So for me, it's probably McGhee by decision. But I also wouldn't be surprised if like I said, he checks one of them kicks or not checks one of them kicks, but counters one of them kicks with an overhand or a cross and puts him on his ass. So yeah, give me Marcus McGhee probably by decision.
Not
Yeah, but what I was saying is he doesn't really check kicks. It's his footwork that gets him out of the way of those kicks. So I think that's going to be a frustrating thing for Martinez too.
Were you on McGee as well, Mike? I stepped away for a second.
Yeah, I'm on McGee. Yeah,
Decision.
yeah. I see. I see the knockout happening. I really do. Dude, this McGee man, I'm telling you, his boxing is on another level. When it just, I think as we go as he gets further into his UFC career, I think we might start talking about him having the best boxing in UFC. Dude is he's almost like one of a kind when it comes to his hands, bro. It's really special to
Brother,
watch. I love
he's
watching
the
him.
leader of the Gorgon Knights. If you didn't know,
The what?
Gorgon Knights. Did you ever see small soldiers when you were a kid?
Oh
He looks
yeah.
like that little animal dude. Like, literally, like that's a human version of him, bro. It's identical. It's crazy.
Okay. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, this dude, I think McGee is gonna be special.
Yeah,
I,
this is the real measuring stick here, man. Like if he passes this with flying colors, I think it's gonna be a fun. It's already been a fun ride, but it's gonna be a fun ride to watch as he goes into better competition and more juicy matchups.
as crazy as this may
Hey, and
sound,
I know Dravi left the chat real quick. I know Dravi left the chat, but he hit his last three free bets, and now this is the one for this week.
McGee,
Yeah.
nice.
I have no problem with that. Like I said, I think what is the line on this fight? If you don't mind me asking.
The line, like the money
Yeah, like
line,
Minus
who's the
140 right
favorite?
now on
Minus one.
DraftKings.
minus 130 on McGee, plus 112 on Martinez. Cade, you had your hand up, bud.
Well,
Get after it.
basically get him at pick 'em odds too. That's a good line.
Um, yeah, man. I think McGee. I kind of agree with everybody in here, man. I think McGee's just better everywhere. Honestly, like I feel like I've gotten like to be honest with you, I've gotten to see Marcus train like a lot of times at the lab, and he's usually one of the first people in and one of the first people to leave. The guy is super cool. He's always working hard. Like he is so legit, man. Like his watching him hit the pads is like art. Grappling, he's a good grappler too. Like I know we haven't seen much of it. I think the only time we saw was against Bolanos, I think. But he's just good, man. Like he can I kind of agree with Mike. Like yeah, I could see Marcus just beating him up for winning the minutes for 15 minutes or honestly finishing him. Like I just think Marcus is that good. Like he's really good. So I agree with everybody in here, and I also agree with Mike where I think Marcus is going to be like a really special fighter in the future, and he already is. But I think he's only getting better, and he should honestly beat Martinez. I don't want to sit here and disrespect Martinez and say easy, but Like, in my opinion, easy.
Oh, it's not easy, bro. I would, if I could bet fight of the night, I would pick this fight.
I think it should be the first fight on the main card, honestly.
This
Like,
this
Well,
this
It's not.
my issue with Martinez is like outside of his leg kicks and his calf kicks, he's really not dangerous. Like the hands aren't really an issue for him with him. So you mostly just have to worry about the kicks, and then the ground game's not there really either. So yeah, and it's like you said, man. This should be a good fight for him. He should be able to go out here and look good, but it is a step up. But the dude's so likable. It's hard not to root for him. Like he seems like to be like a really nice, cool dude. So yeah, I hope Marcus McGhee goes out there and wins some with flying colors, man.
Usman. Fucker. Is he not there?
Marcus McGhee. How do you beat somebody that kicks a lot, like strike from the distance? You crowd the kicker. Just basically what everybody said. Boxing, really good. Let's go, Marcus McGhee.
All right. Simple. All right, listen. Up next is James Linton and Mauricio Ruffy. All right.
Oh, no. When you said Linton, I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Lintop, Lontop, Lintop, whatever the fuck it is. Ruffy.
Thomas Youngtimer.
Hey, look, stop. Mauricio Rufi, KO1, under, inside the distance, on to the next fight. Nobody's going to have
Yeah.
another bet, right?
James Lindop, plus 566.
I would be crazy if I didn't touch
Minus.
the Rufi decision prop.
That's why I was
Just
telling you guys, Joe. They should have freaking switched this fight for that Marcus fight on the pay-per-view, bro. This shit. What the
So
fuck?
listen.
Hey,
Listen to this though, guys.
somebody tell me what the Rufi decision prop is. Like, I get this kid's talented,
So
but like
listen
he's not
listen
the
to this
fucking
stupid
destroyer.
shit.
And Yontop's tough as
Listen
fuck.
to this. Listen to this stupid shit. So he is a minus 909 on average. He is as deep at Leo Vegas is minus 1430. Okay. But the over 1.5 is minus 165. How do you have a minus 1,000 fighter in a fight and an over 1.5 at minus money? You can't
Just what the
be,
decision prop is.
but bro, you can't be minus 1,000.
Joe,
And
I know you're going hard, but I need this decision prop number.
bro,
Plus
I don't know
300.
what it is, but I bet you're getting like minus 500 on it.
Honestly, for minus 700 plus 300, it's not bad, but that's still fucking ugly.
Is it minus 700?
No, he says plus 300, so not enticing enough to throw a sprinkle on because it's not huge payout. I just figure everybody's super heavy on the KO like we are, but like I said, we've Lontop's shown to be pretty tough and durable. Rufi, while I think he's talented and is going to be a problem, just the idea that he's just going to walk in and destroy every person's crazy. So
Yeah,
I like the inside distance, but I would probably still sprinkle the decision prop.
So
yeah,
Usman,
but bro, look, Yontop, the only thing he has going for him is he's Peruvian and he's got a big ass fucking pit bull block of a head. So that's why there's that minus money on the minus 165 over. But root like the way Yontop fights, the way he walks into punches, the way he bites on the feints, this is a perfect setup for Rufi to knock this fucking dude into orbit. That big ass fucking Peruvian chin. I don't know if it'll come in the first or the second, but there's no way Rufi's gonna take this guy to decision. And if he does, hey, fucking Yontop's face is gonna look like hamburger meat.
Well, that's why I'm raising my hand. I'm going to go ahead and take back the decision prop, and I think you said the 1.5 was minus 160. That sounds phenomenal. If you're thinking it can last a little bit longer, so I would probably just take that instead rather than sweating every second of that fight for taking the for a decision prop. But no, I think he goes up there and he more than likely finishes early. But I just outliers. You gotta touch them every once in a while.
I'll be honest, man. I think the books know something we don't know. You don't have a minus 1,000 fighter and a plus under. That's not how it works. Minus 1,000 means you finish in the first round. That's what it means. It means you are favored to go out there and destroy them. So how is the under not the favorite money? Um, and I'm not being crazy or anything. Like, we all know the books have the best insiders that there are. It doesn't make any sense that a guy that is a KO machine, a fucking KO machine, no one here is even arguing that he should be minus 1,000. No one here has even bucked back even a little bit that he should be minus 1,000. But everybody's on the over, and the over is negative money. I don't know, man. Something doesn't make any fucking sense to me
You're
on this
kind
fight.
of swaying me now because everybody and their mother fucking loves Ruffy too. The only explanation I can think of is Peruvian pitbull head, bro.
Either that, or the books are trying to get everybody to bet something shitty because they know even at
Ah,
minus 1,000,
so it's
everybody's.
Llontop decision.
Well, I'm just saying, like, maybe the books are trying to get. I don't know, man. That's just weird. That's very fucking weird to me. Aussie,
Mike,
nice to have you in the room on the mic.
real quick, Mike. I see we got Mister Electrocute in here as well. Hey, brother, feel free to grab a mic. Talk about a parlay king over here, buddy. This dude's a monster on them parlay long shots.
Yeah,
Nice.
Art's the
I
man.
I think
You got to follow him for the same game parlays. He's kicking ass on the NFL as well. Yeah, he's the man. Um, yeah, this what do you call him, Joe? Lintip, whatever his name is.
On top.
Uh,
What,
it's
line
not.
top or
Yeah,
whatever?
it's not going to matter after this fight, man. These fighting nerds are just on a different level right now. Um, Ruffy's going to come out. I think he's going to have his way with him. I don't know why the over his due. I think this goes under a lot. I know his first fight in the UFC or Dana White Contender Series, he kind of did nothing for the first two rounds. He was kind of, I don't know if he's just kind of blinded by the moment or whatever, but in that third round when he came to life, man, it was just smash city. And then, he beats the shit out of my boy Jamie Malaki. This guy has power. He's a scary guy. He should probably get it done and get it done early here. I don't agree with the line. I mean, I don't think he should be this big a favorite. I think that's a bit crazy, but I do think he gets the finish, and I like the KO. So, yeah, fingers crossed he comes in and gets it done early.
I just seen that Master Roshi dropped down in the chat 30 minutes ago that apparently they're going back to the old gloves for UFC 309. So we're
Yeah,
going back to the old
That's
that's
glove
the
design.
rumor.
that's another thing,
So,
man. I was surprised you guys hadn't covered that already. I thought you might have jumped on that, but that's going to favor these strikers, man. These hitters are back.
nah. I listen. I got a real theory about why that is. A real hardcore theory
Can I guess,
about
Joe?
why they're using. So Stipe and John. Okay, so the easy justification is that this card is based around Stipe and John, battle of the old champs. These are their gloves. This is how we're doing it. You could also argue about that guy who's been tracking all of the numbers and finishes are actually down in 2024. But bro, it's like a couple. Like, it's a variant that is so close that you need 5 years of research for it. Like, they're down from last year, but the number isn't astronomically down. It's only off by a couple, right? Um, John Jones can't poke you in the eye with the new gloves. He
Oh,
can't
should have
hold his
guessed. I knew
fingers
you were
out.
going to say it.
I knew you were gonna say it too,
He
I knew you
bro.
can't.
were going to
He
say
can't.
it too.
He can't hold his fingers straight out in the new gloves. They're designed specifically so that you can't do that. And you can find footage of Rampage Jackson and several other fighters, but Rampage Jackson specifically swears that those gloves were designed because of the way John Jones fights and how other fighters would try to mimic the fingers out defense because it keeps you at bay. You can't go in, you can't rush in. If they lower their hands and you catch a finger, you're fucked. John Jones's fingers out defense is, he says, "Oh, it's my nervous tactic or whatever." No, it's a very strategical tactic, and they are taking that away from John Jones. And I don't care you will have a very hard time convincing me that that is not why those gloves are being used for this card. If they go back to them for good, fuck it. My theory's out the door. You guys can all come back and laugh at me 2 cards from now and be like, you're a fucking idiot. But if the next card has the new gloves, my shit holds weight. That's all I got to say. My shit holds weight if the next card has the new gloves.
Silly idiot. There's nothing that can taint a John Jones eye poke. You think the new gloves are gonna stop him? He's gonna get his fingers in those eyes, down to the knuckle hairs, boy.
3-2 style.
I do also have one other very silly theory that's probably more realistic. They might not have a pair big enough to fit Stipe's hands. His hands are massive. Massive, massive. Um, massive, massive. He wears the largest size glove that they have, and he pulls it out. So,
Big no Shane Carwin, bud.
Wait, I got a question. By the time fight night comes around, do you guys realize on the main card there might be 3 minus 1,000 favorites?
yeah.
And are
And
we
do you
are we
realize?
sure all 3 of those cash? Like,
And do you realize that on the undercard, more fighters than not are coming off a loss? Like, how does that balance? Like, what the fuck is super balanced card, guys? Super balanced card. All right. So next fight up is gonna be Karine Silva and Viviane Araujo. Here we go. All right, everybody get comfortable because I'm sure the fucking arguments are gonna fly here. Karine Silva is, man, I should have had this in front of me. Karine Silva minus 278. Viviane Araujo plus 217. 28 books, 10 days. As deep as minus 345 on Karine. And you can find as heavy as plus 225 on Viviane. The over 2.5 is set at minus 260. The under 2.5 is set at plus 200. You guys know me. I'm the biggest Karine Silva truther in all of MMA spaces, probably. I've been screaming this girl's name to the fucking moon since we started these spaces, I think.
I might have to challenge that one, actually.
What do you mean?
I think Usman may be the biggest, actually.
No, fuck that. I told him who she was.
Yeah, but he's taking that torch and ran.
Nah, bro, that's Natalia Silva in her butt.
No,
Karine
no,
Silva is
that's some
mine.
absolute
No, it's the fake,
bullshit
baby.
right
It's the
there.
pro.
That is some bullshit from Contender Series. I told you, you don't fade the fro. I've been on this shit. Now, I'll let you steer the boat every once in a while, but I got the title, you son of a bitch.
Bro, you can't even tell me who she fought before she got on the Contender Series. You better
Neither can
hurry up and
you.
look it up.
Neither can
I,
you.
I could because I got a computer in front of me, bitch. Don't test me.
I'm going to declare
Listen, I know
fight here, boys.
I have actually seen some conversations on the Twitter or the X that somehow people think that Viviane is a live bet here and that she's gonna take Karine down and control her way to a victory. Um, yeah, fucking right. Karine Silva inside the distance. The over is a waste of fucking time in my opinion. Yep, Karine Silva inside the distance. Submission, of course. But Karine's got hands, and that's my biggest problem with not taking the straight submission prop is that she's got hands and that she can drop a motherfucker. Yep. So that's my hesitation in taking the sub. I know it's sub. I know it's club and sub. I know the tactic. I love the woman as a fighter, but I've been waiting for her to get a ground and pound. Like I've been waiting for her to drop somebody and jump on them. Yeah, Karine Silva all day. Anybody who's on Araujo, I'm not mad at you, but you're gonna have to explain it to me because I don't see it at all. Trace, get after it, bud.
Man, I do agree that she is the side, the Green Silva is the side. But I think we're going to start seeing now that we're getting the steps up in competition that the finishes are harder to come. We've seen in the last fight with Lipsky that she wasn't able to get Lipsky out of there. Lipsky, who is a pretty well known quitter. So if you show her the door, she'll take it. But I do think that this fight is probably a one sided affair. Araujo's she's good everywhere, but she's not really dominant anywhere. Uh, yeah, I just feel like she's. I believe she's pretty old as well. Let me think. See how old she is. 37 years old, so she is older for a woman. Although we have seen that doesn't seem to affect the women quite as much. Uh, but yeah, man, mostly goes to decisions. So yeah, give me Karine Silva in a give me the over, give me the decision. Uh, I'm depending on what the prop is and the number on the split prop. I might even take a shot at that split prop if it's a good number. I do think she should be able to cover a Rouge out everywhere, but like I said, step up in competition. We might see some fight back. So yeah, I might take a stab on the split if it's a decent number.
Listen, I'm not okay. So I'm not being confrontational. I am asking you sincerely, how is this a step up in competition?
I mean, just it simply just is. I mean, she's fought better
Bro,
competition.
Arujo's horrible. She's horrible.
But the people that she's lost to have been way better competition, better name value. It's just
But
she.
it hasn't been close.
I mean, but it's still a step up from Ariana Lipsky. I mean, call it what you will, it still is. Lipsky is a one round fighter who crumbles afterwards. Araujo can hold the pace for 3 rounds. She does slow down a little bit later in the fight, but yeah, I mean this should be a back and forth fight. If it stays standing, if it goes to the ground, we probably see a little bit more dominance out of Karine Silva. But I do think this fight is 29-28 Karine Silva.
I I feel like if you were trying to decide who the better competition was between Araujo and Lipsky,
This way.
you could literally you could flip a coin. I just feel like they're both horrible. And
So she's fought
and
competition and she's only been finished one time. It came early in her career. It was a knockout against Sarah Frota. I'm pretty sure we know that name. I'm sure she's fought in the UFC. Yes, she has.
Sarah Frota
Yeah,
is
so
a
she.
yeah,
man.
bro, but
Sarah Frota is
like
a man.
Lipsky, if we're making the comparison, Lipsky got past Aldridge, Gatto, Neal, then lost to Karine and Jazz Davicius, bro. Like I don't know. They both have fought good competition. Arujo
But
and
she.
Lipsky have both fought good competition.
Original fight champion. So she's fought. Hang on one second. I walked to my computer. She fought Alexis Davis, title contender. Uh, Caitlin Sermonera, title contender. Alexa Grasso, Amanda Hebos, Annette Natalia Silva. These are her losses. These are good fucking losses and they're decisions. They're not finishes. She's durable. She's been able to hold the fight. She's able to return the fight, but she doesn't really like. She doesn't separate herself. So she usually loses. But I'm able to put on the prop only if it's a good number. In the event that is be able to cover the number, it might be closer than we think.
All right.
I'm not trying to push you though. Like I'm not gonna try to sell it, but that's just my take on it.
I got you. Yeah, I'm all right. Mike, give me some breakdown on this one, bud.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with Trace. I think Viviane has definitely fought the better competition, but I think Silva's the side here. I think as far as striking goes, Vivi has the more explosive strikes and she throws more combos. Karine is more she's more on the low volume side, but she really knows how to pick her shots well, and she throws with power. And when she commits, she really sits down. It's really to hurt her opponents, and to take him down. And I just think on the ground, Karine is just that. I think she's that good. I think the hype is real when it comes to her grappling. And I think on the feet, even though Vivi will have more volume, I think the more impactful and more meaningful shots will come from Karine. I just don't think she's gonna finish her because Vivi still is tough, and I think she's just gonna be able to take her for a decision win. So yeah.
Fair enough. I will say this in Araujo's defense: outside of her debut fight, where she knocked her out, she has been the decision every single time. And that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 fights in a row. Um, yeah, I mean, Karine has finished. I don't know. Karine has finished. Myra. I don't know. I'm not going. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole. Usman, what are you playing here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just as big as a fan, maybe bigger than you. But I gotta go over. I gotta go decision. I think even Karine herself showed in the last fight. It's like, hey, we don't have to always go for the kill with the sub. We are leveling up, and let's hold this bitch down for 7, 8 minutes. Let's go position over submission. Let's land some strikes. And to me, the most impressive thing from the Natalia Silva fight was the way she was able to sneak up on the back and just secure that position. I hope Karine can do the same thing, and maybe the finish will be a little bit more live there. But shit, she's never been finished before. She's never been subbed. So I got to go over in decision.
Fair enough. Any hands on this one? No. Oh, there we go. Ozzy, get after it, bud.
Yeah, this is a good fight. I really like Karine Silva, but I don't think she should be minus 300 here. I do think she wins the fight just by, we can obviously tell her skills are there. The issue is, like, her last four opponents, none of them have even attempted a takedown on her. I know it's hard to do when you're getting finished in the first round, but I just don't see a world where Viviane doesn't attempt. She should attempt takedowns in this fight because Karine, she's definitely got a good jiu-jitsu game, but she's gonna have to do it off her back. I'd much rather be, if I'm Viviane, I'd rather be on top of Karine Silva than underneath her. So I'd say she's going to play the grappling game, and she's probably going to try to get some top control. And it's something that Karine Silva hasn't really had to overcome since her first fight. She got taken down on both attempts there. So yeah, I think Araujo probably goes for the takedowns. Whether she gets submitted, I don't know. Whether she can defend takedowns and grab her neck or something, I don't know. But if she doesn't, she's probably going to be on the back for some of these fights. So yeah, it might be interesting. But yeah, I just don't know if the minus 300 is really worth a shot on Karine Silva. I think she, line should be a little bit closer.
I don't know, man. Her last fight, what'd she take it on 2 weeks' notice? Cut weight, landed 5 takedowns, dominated the shit out of her. It was 2 weeks, right?
We got Big Steve
I'm not sure about that.
over here, Joe. Whenever
Because Lipsky,
Yeah, I just want to add
Lip,
to Aussie fight fans breakdown. I want to disagree. I want to say, personally, I would rather be under Karine Silva. So I want to say.
Oh yeah, I knew someone was going to catch that. That's why I had to say, if I was Viviane.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all.
on top, underneath, either way.
Yeah,
Who
preferably
cares?
underneath though.
Yeah, I don't like working too hard myself.
Yeah, typical Aussie mentality right there.
man, I wish I could add it up today, but DraftKings won't give me my damn odds. But man, I wonder what I could get on the Silva, the Diniz, and the John Jones round 1 finish. That's got to be a good paying parlay, right?
You mean you want all three of them round one?
Yeah.
not good when they don't cash, brother.
That's plus
What,
20,000.
Yeah,
I think
bro? But I mean,
I'm gonna have another losing week if that hits. I tell you, I can't afford another losing week, Joe. Don't talk to me.
I think Silva decision is sneaky. She would be the first person to submit Araujo. I think finish Araujo, just in general. If she does that.
Yeah, I mean, she's gone the distance in what, her last 9 fights or something.
Not only that, but she seems durable, and she's been a black belt for a long time. I don't think she's
Yeah,
ever been.
yeah.
Karine is going to be the first one to finish everybody she fights that hasn't been finished before.
So that was a few of our
Well,
takes.
I guess.
Did we get a for Silva decision? Did anybody have any of that?
No, it's shit. It's only $2. It's shit house.
I think the split is really good. I mean, it hasn't dropped here yet, but I heard the split's plus 400. I mean, if that's true. I don't know. And Karine split's
Yeah,
apparently
it's
plus
plus
1,000
400.
for Karine split. I don't know. That's fucking playable.
Greens plus 1,000.
You guys
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking that.
are talking about a split with the 2-4 in her last 6 chick, right?
Yeah,
Step
but
up.
they were all unanimous
All right.
decisions. She's due. They were all unanimous.
Hey, the
Yeah.
Lipsky fight was very close to being like a split. Every round was competitive, and Lipsky is just not it on the ground.
But she controlled the ground. It was the grappling that really made the difference there.
Yeah. In what world was that close to being a split, bro?
Hey, a couple of moments in every round. She got up a few times, and if she just landed a couple of punches in the competitive rounds, it could have been.
I'm just gonna parlay Karine Silva decision with John Jones decision and call it a day.
Man, Trace is just trying to fade me. That's all he's trying to do this week. I can't wait till we start tracking these bets. Can't wait. He's probably going to beat me, but I still can't fucking wait. Is that it? We cashing this one out, boys? I think that's good, right? What is the next one on the card? It's probably the fucking Bo Nickal fight. Yeah, god damn it. All right, Bo Nickal, Paul Craig, minus 10,000. Bo Nickal plus 9 million. Fucking Paul Craig. The real line the average is minus 1111 plus 668. 29 books, 57 days. This fight's been getting juiced, bro. Paul Craig is as deep is as high as plus 900, and Bo Nickal is as deep as minus 1667. Yeah, fuck it. $5 on Paul Craig by submission. Like, what the fuck else are you gonna do? Like, there's no bet to play here. You bet $5 that Paul Craig can submit the wrestler from his back, like we've seen him do. And then if you don't hit it, just don't tell anybody that you actually bet it. Like, I didn't play that shit. Joe said that in this space. I didn't play that stupid shit. Trace, get after it.
Brother, if you think I'm not touching Paul Craig's submission round 1 or 2 on FanDuel, you're fucking nuts. I don't know what the line is, but it's probably going to be juicy. Almost all of his submissions, outside of like 3 or 4, have come in the first round or 2. And honestly, let's be honest. If he's going to catch Bo Nickal, it's going to be early on in a when he's shooting or in a scramble on the ground while they're still dry. So
I can tell you the lines, brother.
let me know.
Paul Craig, round 1 submission. You're getting plus 3,000.
Oh,
Paul Craig, round 2 submission, plus 3,400. And Paul
man.
Craig, round 3 submission, plus 4,500.
So on FanDuel, the group rounds, I'm probably 1 or 2. I'm probably getting plus 19, plus 20. Oh yeah, I'm putting $5 on that, and I don't bet big I've been straightforward with my unit size throughout here. I don't bet big, but brother, I'm throwing a half unit on that baby, and we're gonna call it a day because that's a free $100 in my bank account if it hits. It's probably gonna be a loss, but at them odds, man, how can you not bet Paul Craig? It's him and GM3, the king of the upsets when it comes to the submission. So yeah, I'll take a shot on Paul Craig.
So wait, but before we just throw it to the wind, right? Before we just throw it to the
Bro,
wind, yes, it is not.
I don't even think the KO is out of the realm of possibility for Paul Craig, because here's a guy that doesn't give a fuck if you take him down. He's gonna throw big punches while he's standing because he wants to go to the ground. So like we have to see if that's improving. Not that it needs much improvement to beat him on the feet, but like you said, you got a guy that's not scared to throw bombs. I might even touch that. Who knows? I might just play the round prop instead of picking a.
So what I was gonna say is Bo Nickal is a great grappler and a very strong wrestler, and we all know that. And we all know that minus 11-11 is very real. None of us are even arguing that. But Bo is not, I know he's got 4 million wrestling matches or whatever, right? I know he doesn't actually have as many as people think at the high level.
He's like a
And he lost one.
3 or something like that, and at Penn State.
He's what?
His record was like 120 something and 3 at Penn State, so or and 4 something. Like he only lost like 3 or 4 matches out of 100 and almost 125 matches. So like he's legit, and Penn State's a powerhouse for wrestling. I live in Pennsylvania, and like it's like an hour and a half from me. So yeah, it's definitely a powerhouse for wrestling. So it is high credentialed wrestling for amateur wrestling, obviously outside the Olympics. But yeah, but
What I meant was when you're wrestling, bro, a lot of those matches, they are cans. Not cans in the sense that me and you could go beat them, but for Bo Nickal, he's going to run through 10, 15 of them in a day if you let him. A lot of those guys were that caliber. When you look at the very, very high level, Bo didn't have a ton of those fights, is what I'm getting at. Guys who are going to be absolutely flawless in technique, guys that are never going to make the mistake. He didn't fight 127 of those guys, is my point. He's probably got a dozen, maybe 2 dozen. I don't want to underestimate guys that he's fought, but he's got a couple dozen of those, right? In wrestling. Where I'm going with this is for him to make a mistake that could get him submitted in a jujitsu move is not far fetched. For him to feel so comfortable in something he does when he wrestles that Paul Craig has spotted, like how Bo Nickal likes to lower his shoulder into you when he's over you, when he tries to posture up and likes to lower his shoulder into you, right? Like that's probably a good time to grab his arm if you know how to move your legs and get out from underneath. And I'm not even like a coach or an analyst, right? But like you could see a guy like Paul Craig who is actually capable of spinning out from underneath could capitalize on something like that from a different art is all I'm getting at. I'm not trying to sell everybody on this. I'm just saying for $5 or $5 get you $100 in your bank account. Like, man, I'm gonna have a hard time passing it up. I see a real path for Paul Craig to capitalize on the mistake of a young MMA career. I'll get off my soapbox here. Usman, get after it.
I'll give the go ahead, Usman.
No, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. Bo KO round one at minus 140. Nah, fuck that. I'm good. Y'all can bet this. I will not.
So realistic breakdown of it would be I wouldn't be surprised to see Boneko go in here and try to show that he's improved his striking. It's the least dangerous of the routes for him as far as the fight goes. If he stays standing, Paul Craig is considerably less dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go for a standing knockout here.
Yeah, Bo is falling in love with his hands, and he's got some real knockout power. I seen some hands go up. I don't know who was first. YB hasn't been on the mic that much. I'm gonna let him get it first. YB, get after it, bud.
I don't know what the number is. I've got to wait, but Bovada always gives me these insanely stupid lines. It's like they're calling to me like the Green Goblin mask. But first 30 seconds, KO Bo Nickal is going to be like fucking plus 10,000. Paul Craig is. How many pounds is that dude cutting now? Like fucking 40 pounds or whatever to get down to that. Like, I've got to play it. I'm stupid anyways. If you want a tail, go ahead, but I've got to play it. Bo's gonna KO him. Paul fucking sucks. He shouldn't be at 185. I can't. He fucking sucks. Bo by KO. Fuck all that shit y'all are talking about.
If
Cut
you
Craig immediately.
if you got DraftKings, you could probably you can bet the under 0.5, so under a half a round on DraftKings. So that might be your best bet there, YB.
Cade, get after it.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize I had my hand up anymore. Everybody kind of touched on the fight. Bo. But I do think Bo's gonna knock his ass out though. Like my guy was saying a minute ago. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Bo, we're so used to Bo. I feel like subbing people. I feel like this fight he might knock his ass out.
Man, does Bo got more UFC knockouts and submissions?
I'm not
Do
even.
you know?
I'm not even sure actually. To be honest, that's a good question. I
He's
just.
got one. He's got one.
Yeah, he's got one
The
knockout. I
rest is
think
sub.
Val,
No, two
two
wasn't it
knockouts.
knockouts.
Val?
He
Yeah, I
knocked
was
out
gonna say he
Val,
got more than
Woodburn,
one.
and I don't know who else.
Let's see here. I don't know.
Some
I guess
dude in
randomly.
Icon FC. It was in his UFC debut. It was nobody. But what he did show is that he does have hands. Dude's got hands. Dude's got footwork. His mom was a boxer, so he can box and he can
I don't.
wrestle. And when it comes to the
No, I
yeah,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say I don't. When I think about Bo and his striking, like I don't Bo. When I watch Bo, I don't really see Bo as any type of technical striker. But like I know he has power in his hands. But like I think when he gets to the top of this division, if he doesn't start working on his striking a little bit more, he's gonna be in some deep shit. But I don't think that this is the matchup for that. I think his power will be enough to put Craig out.
I no, he's got hands. The one problem I see is he's gonna have some problem with some kickers because of how he flows, how he tries to slip and rip. It's really bad. But as far as like technique goes to when it comes to throwing his strikes, it's on point from what I can see. He hasn't shown it much because he's a wrestler, but the little that he has shown, he seems pretty good to me. But even in the grappling, I think Bo Nickel has Paul Craig covered. I don't think he's gonna fuck around in the guard. He knows how to play to his strengths, and it's just Bo Nickel all day. But the line's so inflated. Like, how can you really play it?
Yeah, and if I'm being 100% honest, man, when I sit down to actually, when all the lines finally drop here, and I can sit down and play all my bets, and I'm looking at, I want to make. It's a big pay per view, so I'll probably make 6, 8 plays, something like that. I want to have plays throughout the evening, right? But if I'm narrowing down my plays, even though Paul Craig by submission will be such a big payout if it hits, the UFC is not setting Bo Nickel up to lose. They don't even think he has a 5% chance of losing. Fuck the odds. I'm not talking about the odds. If Dana White thought Bo Nickel could lose that fight, Bo Nickel wouldn't be fighting that fight, in my opinion. Ozzy, get after it.
Yeah, this is just the odds are just insane on the props here for Craig. And for Bo Nickel, to be honest, I don't think he should be. What is he, minus 150 by KO? I mean, that's given him 60% chance that he wins by KO. If this is standing, like you guys are saying, there's value on the Beardew KO at plus 2,800. You can't tell me he's only 3% chance of getting a knockout in a stand-up fight. If Bo takes him down, then the sub prop is live at plus 1,600 at 5 or 6%, whatever it is, depending on the line. I don't think he wins. Don't get me wrong. I think Bo wins. I think Bo can probably take him down and avoid submissions and win there. But I don't think he's going to just get him out of there in round one. I mean, even Brundage, he went over 1.5 rounds against Brundage.
Yeah, but he went under. He got choked out by Kyle under 1.5. Brendan Allen choked him out under 2.5. He beat Munoz by KO, and then Johnny Walker knocked him out in under half a round.
Yeah, but then
If
you
you're
got to
looking
look
at
at his wins as well. Like he TKO'd
all
Andre
right, so let me keep
Muniz.
going back. So So he lost to Ozdemir. Then he got a win way back then. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the problem. If you're looking at his last 5 fights, he's been finished in 3 of them, man. Like, I want to say that I'll bet the Paul Craig $5 on the submission. And I might, if I don't see any other bets I like. Like, I don't want to act like I'm wasting everybody's time, because I wrote it down. I'll want to play it, but all I'm saying is, if I'm narrowing down bets, Ozzy, does this one really make your list? That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, this is I've already played it, to be honest. I think it's going to get crushed down. I
Okay.
can't believe his odds are these props are going to stay at these numbers. I think they're going to get down a bit. I also like Bo decision. I think he probably can take him down and just avoid the submissions here. I don't think he's really going to go absolute crazy, with ground and pound trying to get a KO. I mean, that's how you lose a fight against the Bear Jew. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bear Jew pulls guard if he's getting his ass kicked on the feet either. I mean, this guy's crazy. He is legit crazy. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just think there's a lot of ways this fight can end, and I think these juiced lines on Bo ITD are probably not it. So yeah, I just don't think the value really matches the likelihood here. So yeah, give me some of the crazy props on this fight all over. The Bo Nickal decision, even fight starts round 3. In Bo's previous fights, I've bet his round 3 a couple of times at 19-1. I think it's only like plus 600 here, which is disappointing. I was hoping to get a really high line again. But maybe the round 3 we get a better line as people keep betting these ITD props. I don't know, but yeah, I think this is a big step up for Bo, and maybe he's worthy of it. Maybe he gets it done like you guys are saying in round 1. I would just not be running to pay that minus 150 for the KO on Bo. I just don't think it's going to be quite that easy.
Well, if I don't know, man. As much as I would like to put a few dollars on the Bear Juice sub, which I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna stare at it, and the whole time I'm betting, I'm gonna think about it. But like, if I look at the card and the way I think it's built, like, so okay, I'm not trying to start the argument about John Jones right now, but I'm saying John Jones minus 700. Okay, that means round 1 finish by odds, right? That means round 1 finish by odds. Bo Nickal minus 1111, round 1 finish by odds. Jhonata, I don't see where he's at, but I know he's minus huge money. Where did he go? Where the fuck did Diniz go, man? Sorry, there's so many lines on this board.
I think the Diniz Tybura line was kind of close, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I meant to say Ruffy, 909.
Oh, Ruffy, yeah.
So that should be a first round finish, right? So if you take them and then you throw the Karine Silva sub in there, I'll bet you I could get real plus money on all those huge favorites and Karine Silva to finish. Like, I'll bet you when all them lines drop, if you actually take the first round finish on all these guys that are lined to be first round finish or the under 1.5, you might be able to make some money and actually bet on Bo Nickal is what I'm saying. If you play him the right way and you play him with someone else the right way, there might be some money to be made on Bo Nickal.
Okay, respect to everybody, but why are we spending over 30 minutes on a minus 1,200? Let's get on to the co-main event.
Yeah, it's
Because
just
it's the
funny.
whole fucking card. It's the whole card. Everybody feels like a huge favorite tonight. Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira. Oh, here we fucking go, I'm sure. Charles Oliveira is not on the fucking board. Where is Charles Oliveira? What are the odds in this fight? Anybody?
Mike's plus 220 on DraftKings, and I think Charles is. Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Minus 270.
Yeah, 270. Oh, actually, he's minus 258, and Chandler's plus 210 now.
Huh.
Who you got, Joe?
Was there a rumor that this fight was going to get canceled?
You did say that, but it hasn't been so far.
They pulled the odds off of the board. They're no
What?
longer reporting. They're not here anymore.
It's on Bet
It's
Online. It's
still
on
on
I
Bovada.
get
DraftKings
it.
too.
I get it. I get it. But the feeds have pulled out. They're not here, and they were here. Um, hmm. Weird. Anyways, Charles is minus 270. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, you can call it 270 plus 220 for Chandler.
All right. So, fuck. I think Michael Chandler's the side. Um, I think, man, this kills me. I think Charles Oliveira is my favorite fighter, one of my top 5 favorite fighters ever. Um, I don't get excited to meet fighters. You guys know, I've met dozens and dozens of them. I was excited to meet Charles Oliveira. I fucking love the guy as far as, how we feel about fighters. I fucking love that guy. Michael Chandler won that first round. Michael Chandler lost the first fight. I wasn't like, oh my God, Charles. I mean, Charles pulled it out, but Mike fucked himself. Mike has a plan. Michael Chandler, I don't know if he can get him. I don't know if he can finish him. I kind of think he has to finish him. It's a 5-round fight, so I kind of think he has to finish him. I think it's a 5-round fight anyway. I think he has to finish him. Um, man, it pains me. I really think Mike is the side. Maybe I'm tripping, but I think it's Mike. Trace.
I'm gonna go last on this one. Pass it around. Usman.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Oliveira. I'm gonna go Oliveira by submission, round 2, and I think I might hit the over 1.5. But that's about it.
Mike, go.
Okay, so I think the first fight was very telling. Um, what I would okay, so here's what I would say we learned from the first fight. First off, the strong wrestling base that Michael Chandler has is a problem, but Charles Oliveira's jiu-jitsu is, I would say, even though he wasn't able to get out of the first round, I mean, get Chandler off him, I don't think that's going to be the case the whole time. Oliveira knows how to get up, and he understands that when someone has a strong base and he cannot work his jujitsu, then he's not going to play jujitsu. And he has shown that since Islam Makachev, because we all remember, like, it was all about who's going to get on the ground and what's going to happen. And Oliveira tried to, and he realized he couldn't, so he didn't. And he did the same thing with Armin Sarukian. He didn't fuck around. He just got up. I think the same thing is going to happen with Michael Chandler. If Chandler has a game plan, it's going to be to get Charles Oliveira down because he's not going to beat him on the feet. That's another thing we learned from the first fight. And I think I said this to Cade, like, yeah, he was getting his ass whooped. He was getting touched up, and the power was very apparent that Michael Chandler had. But if you look into Charles Oliveira's eyes, he does not have that quit in him anymore. You can hurt him, you can knock him down, but he is going to stay in that fight, and he's going to get in your face and force you to fight at his pace. And the one thing we do know, and we do know this for a fact, Charles Oliveira can take Chandler's punches. Michael Chandler cannot take Charles Oliveira's punches. So after the grappling is all played out, if Chandler's gonna get tired, he's gonna try to fight the pace that Charles Oliveira fights at, and it's gonna be Charles Oliveira. He's gonna knock him out or he's gonna submit him. That's the side. Charles Oliveira.
Man, that's the first time I've ever heard Mike break down a fight with his emotions. Um, Mike was a better fighter in that fight, Mike. That's the first time I've ever disagreed with you on what you
And
seen
what
in the
happened?
fight.
Still got knocked out.
Yeah, yeah. And lucky for Charles and all his fans and everybody that bet on him, because Mike was the better fighter on that night, and it was he's gonna be the better fighter again. I never disagree with you when you break down tape, and I think you should watch that fight again. And then I think you should realize that Charles got saved by the bell in the first round. Charles got saved by the bell. That happened. Go watch the fight all the way to the end of the first round. 5 minutes and 2 seconds in a round, and Charles lost that fight. My opinion, even though Charles knocked Mike out, we've already seen Mike beat him, man. Uh, yeah, I fucking hate it. I hate it. And I hope that I'm wrong and you guys can all laugh at me and be like, see, that's blah, 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 blah. But I fucking doubt it. Cade.
Yeah, I like Michael Chandler this time. The fight's not going to go the same as the first fight. And that shit, he got caught. But it was very clear in that first round that Michael Chandler could get him down. He had a power advantage. I don't know. I just feel like if it's a 3-round fight too, so I feel like Chandler could push the pace a little bit more on him
No, it's
too.
5. It's
Is it
5 rounds,
5?
baby. Oh yeah, we're
Oh
going
Yeah,
5.
it's
shit!
five.
I don't know. I'm still riding Mike, dude. I'm riding Mike. I
Jump
don't.
that fence, Cade. Jump that
Nah, I'm
fence.
riding Mike, dude. I see everything everybody else sees, man. I see the quit in Oliveira, man, and I think Mike could
Well,
break
bro,
him.
listen, man. Listen. He outstruck Charles at distance in the first round. It's not crazy. Charles outstruck him at distance in the second, but I mean, Charles, I love Charles, but let's be honest. His grappling from his back, tell me the last wrestler that he beat with that shit. Because you're going to reach way back in your bag for that. Way back in your bag for that. You're going to be talking pre-champion Charles Oliveira to try and tell me the last
You really think
Russ.
he's gonna play jiu-jitsu though?
He's not going to have a choice when Mike puts him on his back. Mike will put Charles on his back, and he will hold him there.
Okay, but he was able to get Islam off him. Like not for long, but he was able to get up from Islam.
I'm sure he'll get up for Mike at some point, and I'm sure he's going to get taken back down too. And I know that the first fight doesn't tell that tale, but it will. It will this time, man. Mike Chandler has a very storied career, and he fell in love with trying to be the superhero of the UFC. The not the superhero, but the most exciting fighter. Like he fell in love with that shit, figuring, if I'm not winning, I'm exciting. I think Michael Chandler knows that he has to win now. If he doesn't win, all his aspirations are over. Um, fuck, man. Michael Chandler loses, he might be out of a job, guys. He might be out of a job. How many fights do you think he got on his first contract? He's a big fighter. What do you think he got? 8? Well, this is fight number 8. He's fucking 1-3 in his last 4. Michael Chandler might be fighting for his job in his own mind here. Um, I don't know. He might be though. YB, get after it, and then Ozzy, and then we're gonna make Trace give us his bets on this one.
I think when the fight starts, Chandler is going to look across the cage, see Charles Oliveira, the lion, with his most aura and his most powerful, and I think he's going to knock himself out, to be honest with you. I think it'll be over in 30 seconds. I don't think Chandler has any chance, and I hope he gets cut afterwards, and I hope we never have to hear from him again. I hate him and Tybura more than anybody else in the company. And I'm ready to see him lose. I'm really ready. And Charles Oliveira all day, every day. Do Bronx Nation. Fuck Chandler.
Man, I'm betting both Iron Mikes, bro. Sorry to tell you. Ozzy, get after it.
Yeah, that was amazing, man. That made me laugh. Yeah, I like Oliveira's sub here. I think that at some stage, I think Chandler's going to probably slow down, and Oliveira's going to be able to. I think he's probably going to have some attempts early that Chandler can probably fight his way out of. But I mean, Oliveira is such a submission threat, man. He really is. Even Saruki, man, he lost that by a split decision, but yeah, I can see a way he scored that for Charles, and I think he really got close in some of those subs. I think he got saved by the bell on one of them. I think Saruki, from what I remember. I've got to watch that fight again today. But yeah, I like Charles here. I like the sub, and I'm not too wrapped at the plus 140. I was hoping to get a better number than that. I think maybe because it's 5 rounds, the number is a lot lower than what I was hoping. But yeah, I do think Charles gets it done. I think he gets the sub. So yeah, I just hope this is a great fight. And I know you said you thought the fight was going to fall through, man. This is one that I'm really glad it hasn't fallen through, because both of these guys need to fight. They both need to win, and whichever guy wins can move forward, and we know what's next. They're not far off a shot. So yeah, fingers crossed. It's a great fight, and I've got a feeling Oliveira's going to get the sub here.
I'll be honest, man. I won't be upset if you're right and I'm wrong at all. Like I said, I'm a huge Charles fan, and I don't know that I'll actually bet. I'm lying. I really think I'm going to bet Mike. I think I'm going to have a hard time not betting him. If all the lines were out, I would lock in all my bets on Tuesday nights, and it wouldn't matter. Whatever I think later in the week, I'd be done with. But, bro, in Michigan, there's no books that are Michigan sanctioned or whatever that make life easy around here, that drop their lines before like Thursday fucking night. It's the worst shit ever. I hate it. Some lines we don't get till Friday afternoon. I fucking hate it. Yeah, it drives me absolutely insane. And a lot of times those lines are juiced at other books. So by the time I see them or get them, I'm like, man, I don't even want to bet these. Like, I'll be honest, a lot of times when I don't really bet a card, like all the shit I wanted to bet, by the time the fucking lines post here, I just don't want to bet it at that anymore. DraftKings like holds out, and then they post according to where everybody else is. And whatever, it's shit. I'm just complaining here. Trace, tell me what you're betting on this fight.
Yeah, sorry, dude. My kid's going crazy tonight. But yeah, I'm on Charles Oliveira. I think he more than likely gets the sub, whether it comes from club and sub. I think in the end result will still be a sub at the end of the day. I'm actually probably aiming for round 2 or 3. I think that's probably where we start seeing wear and tear, as well as just fatigue on Michael Chandler making mistakes. Probably gives it the back and gets choked, whether it's from the grappling against the cage, or whether it's from him getting hurt from strikes. Like I said, I think he wraps up a neck at some point. Uh, I like the round 2 or 3 prop, so I'll probably play some grouping rounds on FanDuel, round 1, 2, 3. That's all one grouping, 2, 3, 4, and 3 typically. I'll probably play I might also touch the decision prop, man. I would not be surprised if these two guys go out there. No, I'm just kidding with you. This fight is not going to decision. Yeah, give me Charles Oliveira by submission. Easy money.
All right, bet that shit to the moon. I'm not mad at it.
Okay,
Not mad at
so
it at all.
Joe, I just rewatched it. I rewatched that first round.
Yeah.
Trust me when I say that is not what happened. Charles was playing jujitsu. He was playing jujitsu, and he's learned since then, and we know he's learned that since, because he makes in-fight adjustment, and he doesn't fight like that anymore against strong wrestlers. So yeah, Michael Chandler might get him down, but Charles Oliveira is going to get up. And the knockout
What
in the
did you
second
just
round,
say to me, bro?
bro, I'm telling you,
How did he lose to Islam?
Because, well, first off, we understood that in the beginning of that fight that Charles was playing jujitsu. And in the second round, since then, he said, "Fuck that, we're not doing it," because Islam was winning, and he got up. Now Islam's a different kind of wrestler. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and say Islam's the perfect fighter. No one's beating that man, and Charles couldn't. He can't handle that kind of strength. All right. Michael Chandler's different. He showed he can grapple with Michael Chandler. And that knockout in the second round is due to Chandler's bad habits of not bringing his hands back. He just threw that straight right down the middle. And I'm telling you, the big thing we know, and this is I'm gonna keep stressing this point. Charles Oliveira can handle the power of Chandler. Chandler could not handle the power of Charles Oliveira. He's gonna knock him out.
Okay.
What's up, Mike?
Okay. Cash the ticket. We'll see.
CapMMA.com.
Cash the ticket. Listen, we got it. Yeah, cash the ticket. That's it. All right. Main event: Jon Jones, Stipe Miocic. John is like minus the average on John is like minus 714 plus 470 for Stipe. The over is set at 2.5. I think it moved while we were here tonight. I think it was at 1.5 when we started the space. Plus 130 to go over 2.5, minus 160 to go under. I'm very serious. I just refreshed the board. I think that was at 1.5 when we started the space. I could be tripping, but that's where I think that was at. I mean, everybody knows I'm a huge Jon Jones mark. I think at this line, John is supposed to first round submit him or first round finish him. And I like it because I'm a Jon Jones fan, but Stipe Miocic is the real deal. I know he's 100 years old, and I know that Francis knocked him out, and I know he hasn't fought in 8 fucking years or whatever. I know I'm exaggerating. But Stipe is a monster and like a legit KO machine. If I showed you Stipe's knockout record in the UFC and said, yeah, he's got the most knockouts ever in the UFC, you might question it. But if you looked at his resume, you'd be like, damn, there are a lot of fucking knockouts on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope, 11. He's, I don't know, man. Stipe's a fucking monster. I'm not mad at anybody that's taking a shot at Stipe, especially at these odds. But you just take him by knockout. You just hope that he sleeps Jon Jones. They're the same height. They'll be looking each other dead in the eye. You just hope that Stipe catches John. And good luck to you. Bet huge units, so minus 700 isn't a ton of money for me to make on the units I bet. So I will skip that if I'm being honest. But I will find something I like. I will find a way to bet Jon Jones. It is not a maybe. I 100% will find a way to bet him. Doesn't mean I'll hit it. Maybe under 1.5. Maybe same game parlay. Under 1.5. Sub only or something. Just depending on the line. It won't necessarily be a bet that I'm like 100%. That's exactly how it goes. It'll just be something I think is feasible that lets me get a better line on John. That's what I got. Trace, get after it.
Yeah, man. I'm of a different opinion, man. I'm actually thinking about doing the now that you brought up the overs and the value on them. I might just ladder the overs all the way up, man. Play the over 1.5 pretty heavy, over 2.5, over 3.5, over 4.5, and then goes to decision. And then I already played the John Jones decision prop, man. I mean, I get it. He has finishes, but he has finishes early on in his career. As he started fighting for the title, the finishes stopped coming. I get it that Stipe's old and that he just came off this fantastic submission of Cyril Gahn, who has zero takedown and zero jujitsu. Um, yeah, I mean, I get it that it's exciting, so everybody thinks he's a finisher again, but that's just not who John Jones is. He's going to slow the pace down. He's going to fight him at a distance. He's going to fight at his pace. He's going to do what he wants to do. He's going to control the octagon. He's going to control where the fight happens at. And one thing we've seen is just a lack of being able to finish people. It's always been a knock at the championship level for him is his inability to get finishes. He's only had like 3 finishes or 2 finishes as a champion. There's a ground and pound fight against Gustafson where he reclaimed his title after being going for a long time, and then who was the other one? Chael Sonnen. Yeah, so those are like his, and then obviously the Cyril Gahn submission, but no, not a very good finisher, man. So yeah, I think he should be the better fighter. He should be able to do things. My issue is that Stipe is older now, has been sitting out for a long time, but he's been hyper focused on John Jones. So you have to think he's been trying to do everything he can to get ready for John Jones, and he's going to be the best he can be at 42 years old. But I just don't think it's enough. I think he's sat on the shelf too long, and we see John Jones go out here and put on a John Jones-esque performance where he dominates for 5 rounds. I think all the values on them overs, man. If you can get him at plus money, like I said, I'm probably going to go heavy on the 1.5 and then ladder up from there. And like I said, I already got John Jones at plus 450 early on in the week for the decision prop. If it continues to balloon up into a higher number, because it's already higher than what I got it at, I'll probably double dip and hit it again. But yeah, I feel like if you're looking to make money on this card, these overprops might be the way to go.
So, not trying to argue, but just a little bit of conversation here. I know that Stipe went the distance with DC and went into the fourth with him the fight before that. And I know that he went 5 rounds with Francis when he got the decision. I understand. Okay. But Stipe's not really a gas tank fighter. And if you look at his volume in those fights,
Stop you there, Joe, because I know where you're going with this. I am 100% dependent on John Jones' ability to carry a fighter to a decision.
okay, that's fair because Stipe's ability to get there was very dependent on the fact that so when he fought DC KO'd him and KO'd him good. DC really is probably the guy who may have changed Stipe's chin. Sincerely. And then when he went into the second fight, it was some hesitation on Stipe's part. DC outstruck him quite a bit in that fight, and still Stipe caught him. DC actually kind of put it on Stipe in that second fight. And then in the third fight, the volume was low again. What I'm getting at is there is a pattern, even if you go back to the JDS fight. Stipe has to have low volume to make it into the distance. Stipe has a lot of 1 round fights. 30% of his punches thrown in all of his 5 round fights, he throws in the first round. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's worth noting that he will likely have to be carried to the end of the fight for it to get there. And I'm not hating on Stipe.
I'm not super confident. That's why I'm saying ladder the overs, because he may very well get the finish, but I don't think it comes in the first round. I think it happens right in round 2 or 3 if he gets 8 rounds when a diminished Stipe is fighting on a low gas tank. But man, like I said, I'm nervous about it. I'm not. That's why I'm not pouring on the decision prop, especially at plus 450 or better. But yeah, You know me, I'm a value guy. I don't really play money lines. I'm a prop hunter. So if I see John Jones KO round 1, 2, or 3 at good money, I'm probably going to touch it, or even the late rounds, which actually probably comes later rather than early. So yeah, man, like, if I can get him at a good number, especially them groupings, because it gives you a lot of leadway. I'll probably touch the KO prop for John Jones, or even the submission. Probably the KO prop. Stipe's been knocked out like 5 times. He's only been submitted once for maybe never. But yeah. So I'm not in complete disagreement with you. I'm just going with the John Jones that we know, not the John Jones that we saw on a fighter that's one dimensional.
Fair enough. I'd really like the under 1.5 on John, if I'm being honest. Stipe has never won a fight he's been taken down in. Just don't happen. Oh, wait. I'm looking at the statistics now to back that up. Apologies. That stat is not at all true. Alistair
Yeah, I was about to
Overeem took
say
him down.
something.
Great mind.
Alistair Overeem took his ass down. And then he beat Alistair. But short of that, if Stipe gets taken down, he loses the fight. JDS took him down. He lost that fight. He beat Alistair. The fight where Daniel took him down, he lost that fight. Francis took him down. Oh, shit. I'm not even looking. God damn it. I'm looking at the wrong stats
Yeah,
anyway.
he's
Didn't
been
he
taken
beat
down a ton of
JDS?
times and won. He's been taken down a lot and
Yeah,
still
I'm
won.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I was in the wrong column, but so he got taken down by Beltran, but he took him down more. Gonzaga took him down, but he evened that out.
DC took him down in 2 of their fights. I mean, yeah, he's been taken down a
Yeah,
bunch of times and still won.
he has. He actually got taken down in both of the fights he lost to DC. That was a shit stat. Sorry about that, guys. I was looking at the wrong column, and I'm like, how the fuck is that possible? I was just looking at the wrong column. Anyways, let somebody else get on the mic about this one.
Ozzy
I went. Trace went. What's that,
said
Trace?
Ozzy had his hand up early for this one.
Go ahead, Ozzy.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm right there with you, Trace. As soon as these props dropped, I got some fight starts round 2 and fight starts round 3. I got the fight starts round 3 at plus 105. I thought that was good. I knew that was going to get back bet down. John Jones fights late. You know, he generally likes to stick a distance and outstrike his opponents. He generally doubles his opponent's strikes in most of his fights. The fights where he has had trouble with guys like Dominic Reyes and Gustafsson, um, you know, he's kind of probably should have really gone for takedowns in those fights. In this fight, however, I don't think he's really going to go for too many takedowns. I think he's going to stand a distance, and it's going to be a very low output fight. I think both guys are probably going to be patient after a long layoff. Could be a staring match round 1 and halfway into round 2. Um, if Jones does get takedowns, I mean, I'll look for those 12-6 elbows, man. I mean, this is the reason they brought him back, right? John Jones, 12-6 elbow TKO. That wouldn't surprise me. I bet he's been training these elbows now, you know. So that would be awesome if he did that. But yeah, I like John Jones to win. I like him late. Don't like his money line at this crazy minus number. Um, you know, Stipe does hit hard. I could definitely see that. But if this is it, ends early, I do think it's Stipe. John Jones has gone to round 3, and I think I had the stat up before. I've just lost the page, but I think there's only the last guy that he finished inside 2 rounds. I think it was Charles Sonnet from memory, and that's like 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. So everybody else except for Garn, and you know, I don't know. I just really like it to go late. I think both guys are a bit older, a bit tentative. Both have fought once in 4 years. I mean, these guys aren't going to come out and just start trading. John Jones is going to stand out on the outside, throw those crazy oblique kicks. Hopefully, Stipe's leg doesn't explode, and we at least see round 2. And that's it for me.
Fair enough. I'm not mad at you guys. No, when you guys hear me say John Jones round one, when you guys heard me say it earlier, my point is that Anybody willing to bet Jon Jones at minus 700, you must think it's a first round finish. Like, how the fuck do you justify betting anybody at minus 700 if you don't think it's going down in the first round? Yeah, I took minus 700. This guy can go the distance. What the fuck are you talking about? YB, get after it.
Jones KO, bar none. I think he's going to take Stipe down and change his fucking face. I think he's just going to rain down elbows. This is like, not going to get into the religious thing, obviously, but if you were one of those people, you would say this is how God wants it to go. This is the whole story. This is like destiny pre-written in the stars. This is how it's supposed to go. It's like the perfect. It could not be more perfect than him going out with a 12-6 elbow KO or just a KO from ground and pound. Period. And also, I found it hilarious that Conor was absent the whole fucking night, but it's like he sensed it in his bones that we were talking about this fight and joined randomly. That's all I've got to say.
No, he was here earlier, bro.
That's not as
Conor
funny.
was
You
here.
got that's not funny for me. Go with mine.
And there were more people in here. He may have been here the whole time and got bumped down where we can't see him.
Yeah, he's been laughing at
'Cause
you all
right
night,
now,
man. It's been
My way is
disrespectful.
more funny.
That's fair. That's fair. Your way is more funny. So here's my question for everybody is if Jon Jones gets Stipe's back, what are the odds that Stipe doesn't get finished in that sequence?
I
0.
think Jon Jones DQ is live too. He might elbow him in the back of the head. If he gets his back, I think I think Stipe might be able to survive a back take. I mean, who was Jones really rear naked choked? Has it been anybody? I don't think he's got one on his record. Oh, okay. Quentin Rampage Jackson back in 2011. Yeah,
I knew there were a couple.
yeah. I'd say
There's a couple, right?
Yeah, he's more dangerous with his guillotines. But I mean, okay, I got a key lock over Vitor Belfort back in the day. Yeah, he hasn't really got many submissions. It's Cyril Gahn, and then before that it was Vitor back in 2012, and before that the
Hey,
guillotine
bro.
against Machida and Rampage.
The
So
fucking guillotine theater around the world against Lyoto Machida. People thought he killed
yeah,
Lyoto Machida.
Beta, another guillotine, Jake O'Brien guillotine. So yeah, I'd say his front chokes are obviously more dangerous than his back takes and rear naked chokes.
I think Jon has to try to take Stipe's back. I don't know. Stipe's big guy. Stipe will be looking Jon straight in the fucking eyes. And don't be surprised if Stipe looks bigger in the stare off. Like Stipe's big dude, man. He's big fucking guy. I don't know. I hope it's a great fight. If I'm being honest, as big of a Jon Jones mark as I am and all that shit, all the bets aside, all the people who will want to rub it in my fucking face if he loses, all that shit aside, man, since I've been watching fights at a level where I would say, like, yo, I watch fights. Like, I've always known who was who. You see the DVD, oh my God, put it in, watch it. But, like, I wasn't buying pay per views and shit. I didn't grow up in a neighborhood. Bro, my neighborhood didn't even have cable for, like, the first several years that cable was a thing. Like, I just grew up a little different. But when I got a little older, started watching where I could watch it all the time, it was the Robbie and Rory fight that I never missed another fight. But Jon Jones was the guy. Jon Jones was like one of the first guys. If Jon Jones is fighting, you have to see it. And I've just, I, it's a little more than being a fan. I've been riding with Jon Jones for all of my fandom, and I'm getting older. And the guys that I watched when I was younger, and the guys who are my age are all getting older, and not too many of them made it to the top of the hill at the end, and even less of them made it to the top of the hill at the end, really at the top of the hill unbeaten. And fuck, man, if John Jones loses, for me, it breaks a little piece of MMA history. Like, John Jones not getting beat and going on the run he went on, and not Anderson Silva-ing his fucking career. Very important to me for my generation of fandom. So all the bullshit we talk about in here aside, when John fights, I genuinely get a little nervous while I'm watching it. Like, I'm genuinely on the edge of my seat, like motherfucker, 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 the whole time. So very excited for the card, very excited for all the bets and shit. But I'm very, very excited for this fight, and I hope it is a fucking banger. All the bets aside, um, all that shit aside, I know Stipe can knock anybody out. I hope he fucking clocks John, and John takes it and kicks him in the fucking face, and Stipe takes it, and they beat the dog shit out of each other for at least a few rounds. And then, of course, I hope John wins. Whatever. It is what it is. That's all I got, man. Anybody else got anything they want to get off about this card, or any parlays particularly they're playing that they might want to shout out?
I got a question I've been wanting to ask you for a while, Joe. I keep forgetting every show, man. What's up
Yeah.
with Das and what's he been doing? And has he got a pick for this one?
So, all right. So I still have all the Darce stuff set up in a place where I can access it, but I haven't really posted much of it. I think if you click the Cap MMA actual profile, fuck, I didn't do it on there. If my name is, am I even in the room? Well, I'm on your fucking friends list, Aussie. So if you go to my profile, you can see that I built an actual studio. It's not huge, but I built an actual studio. That studio doesn't have everything in it. That picture doesn't have everything in the studio that's currently in the studio. Um, so my attention just went there. Right now, I was ready to stream, but the computer I thought I could pull it off with is struggling real bad. So I'm working on that right now. So long story short, my attention has really been pushed towards getting us to a format where we're on video. Um, so all that stuff is kind of on hold until I get there, and then can refocus on some of that stuff. And our spaces will run concurrent right as part of our show, or we will do our bet show and then the breakdowns may be attached to it. But I have already successfully been able to bring one of these spaces into our video chat, all audio crossed. Everybody can hear everybody. So even though I'm super focused on that, these spaces will still run concurrent with part of that show that we do. So that's why my attention's just been on getting that done. So hopefully I can get it done in the next couple weeks here. I ordered a whole bunch of parts. They weren't overnight parts. I tried to get good stuff, so they'll be here. And then I'm going to actually put in a second internet service that is, it's like $50 a month, but it'll dedicate enough internet strictly to all the streaming shit, and then I don't have to worry about it. So that's where all my fucking attention's been, and that's why I haven't done Darce, and that's why I haven't done a few other things. But the fucking scorecards on the website are up to date. Every fucking one of them. Every one of them are up to date. Usman, get after it.
Yeah, so just a quick little parlay section that I got here. I got three for y'all. I already went through this first one earlier, but we'll hit it again. Veronica Hardy fight over 2.5. Hafez fight over 2.5. Mickey Gall fight over 2.5. And then Jim Miller fight over 1.5 at plus 320. Another 4 leg, we got Marcus McGhee, Mauricio, Ruffy, Karine, Silva, and Mickey Gall at plus 370. And then lastly, a little 7 leg here. Over on the Hardy, over on the Hafez, over on the Gall, over on the Jim Miller, over on the Chris Weidman, a little bit of Ruffy in there, and then over on the Karine Silva fight for 800, plus 800 something.
So not to, hate on any of your shit. I think that Gull over is very risky, and I think that is stay away from that. I think that fight can. And you said 2.5, not 1.5. I think that fight can easily end due to an IQ mistake on either side. Way before 2.5. I think that's crazy. I'm not telling you not bet it. You know my policy. I just like the conversation about it. I really think that's nuts, though, bro. I think that under 2.5 is fucking, or over 2.5 on that one is insane, bro. It might get there though. Bet that shit, cash on me. But man, that one seems, sweat your balls off right
Yeah,
there.
I go over first 4 fights, every fight, anyways. But the only finishing equity I see there is Mickey Gall submission, and if he gets me, he gets me. But that's why we got Mickey Gall on the straight money line play, and then I'll probably touch Mickey Gall submission and decision once fight time comes around.
Damn, you're staying on that decision, huh?
Yeah, I think that's where it goes.
All right, I'm not mad at you. I hope it cashes. My top plays, the ones that I want to make sure that I get in, are obviously going to be a John Jones bet. Can't miss a John Jones bet. I really think I'm betting Michael Chandler at dog money. I'm gonna try. I'm probably gonna play 6 plays. So just, I don't know. I'll probably do a couple parlays. I don't know what I'll parlay together exactly, um, but I'll probably have 6 parlays going. It's a big card, and that's just what I like to do. So that's the number. That's my top number. Never play more than 6 plays when you're playing parlays. I don't know why. It's just my number. I really like Michael Chandler. And I like Michael Chandler inside the distance. So I might try to find Michael Chandler like in a money line parlay, and then in some type of inside the distance parlay. Um, John Jones, I said, of course, I'll bet him, but for me, it's gonna have to be something inside the distance. I don't think the fight. I don't think the fight goes all 5. I'm not mad at anybody that does. I just feel the only way for me to make any money on John Jones will to be inside the distance. Paul Craig submission is super appealing to me, but it would be something I feel could bust a good parlay. So as much as I want to play it, I don't know that I will. Bo Nickel round 1 will definitely be in an inside the distance parlay. Karine Silva inside the distance will definitely get played. Um, Court McGhee will definitely get played. I'm struggling with whether or not I will actually fade Chris Weidman. I know I'm on Eryk Anders. I really feel good about that. But man, I try not to bet a certain level of fighter because I feel like you're just starting to force bets and force reads that maybe aren't there. So that may be a dodge it for me. The Damon Jackson Jim Miller fight, I think I like not to go the distance. I think they can finish each other. Um, I'll be honest. I'm probably going to go watch tape a little bit on that one. Um, but I think I like that. The Jhonata Diniz or whatever it is. I like his KO prop. I think that's a good play. Mickey Gall, I can't believe I'm saying it. I think he's the side. Um, maybe Mickey Gall inside the distance is the side in an inside the distance parlay. And I like Oban Elliott's money line, and I like Veronica Hardy's money line. That's everything I got for this card. That's everything recapped. Trace, any strong bets for you? Anything you're not gonna miss? Like, if you haven't already played it, you definitely are gonna play it.
Yeah, there's a very good chance I'm gonna have way too much money invested in John Jones overs in his decision prop. I'm
Really?
just pretty adamant that fight goes over, man. Personally,
Okay, so like you're talking like unit up, unit up, unit up, unit up, unit up, unit.
no, like maybe throughout that entire fight, I'll probably have 3 or 4 units. Uh, Probably a half unit on each round prop. The over each round will start, and then like I said, I already have one on the decision prop, and I'll probably put a half unit on the KO 345. It's plus. Let me see what it said it was. Pretty sure it was like plus 500 for John Jones KO 345. So half unit would get me 2.5 units. So I'd probably throw a sprinkle on that just to kind of protect my ass a little bit, just in case he gets to finish. But other than that, I'm going for that decision.
Man, here I'm gonna paint a picture for you wild prop bettors real quick. John Jones puts on a masterclass, beats Stipe Miocic up for 4 rounds, 2 minutes, 27 seconds, and while walking backwards, trying not to get beat up anymore, Stipe lands one and drops John Jones, throws both hands up in the air, and goes running circles around the ring. Just saying, could happen for all you crazy
That's
parlay
why I'm
bettors
playing.
or prop bettors.
I'm playing them.
What's that?
I'm cool with it. I played rounds 2, round 3, round 4 to start, so I made money.
Yeah. I was just having fun because you like them overs. Man, Stipe is a fucking stone fist killer, and as much of a John Jones mark as I am, I really think that Stipe is getting overlooked here by a lot of people.
Brother, you're the one saying round 1.
Yeah, like I know, I know. So I think the fight's under 1.5, no matter who wins. I'm on John Jones' side. John Jones minus 700. If you're betting John Jones at minus 700, you better believe he can get it done in the first round.
I don't,
Um,
man. I'm too poor for that. You gotta have to make the money lines. Top fun.
that was my point. That was my point. That to make money on John, you're going to have to bet him in the first round or the second round, or by submission in the third, or whatever your play is. But to make money, you're going to have to take him, and you're probably going to have to take him fairly early, if I'm being honest, to get anything good on him. Um, I don't have the lines in front of me to see it, but I'm sure that John's odds. Um, I would doubt that John's odds shoot up the way Stipe's do for a finish as the fight goes on. I would assume that John has much shittier odds round by round for the finish than Stipe does. I can't see any of that
John
here.
Jones KO round 1 plus 400, round 2 700, round 3 12, round 4 18, and round 5 26 to 1. And then for Stipe, it is wow. Stipe KO round 1 is 2100. Round 2
Yeah,
Round
see?
2 30 to 1, round 3 41 to 1, round 4 49 to 1, and round 5 60 to 1.
You know, Trace, with that the starts round 2 and starts round 3 and all that, like why not chuck a sneaky little hedge on the Stipe early props, you know? I mean, it's kind of crazy. 23 to 1. I got his round 1 KO. I mean, that's a
And
lot of his
let's
win equity, I think.
be it's a huge part of his win equity. Stipe in the UFC
So
has
Stipe
two.
1 90 to 1. Round 4, 19 to 190 to 1. Round 5, they have closed off. Bro, round 5 submission. It's going to happen. It's locked off. They don't have a number.
They've taken off the board.
Stipe round 5 submission to bet. Once they
1001.
give me that number, I'm locking it in. If I'm getting 190 to 1 for round 4, I'm probably getting 230 for round 5. Bro, imagine.
Stipe's got 7 first-round knockouts.
I mean, that's where that's his, most
Yeah.
of his win equity, like you're saying. It is round 1 finish. I mean, all of his win equity really is the knockout. Like the chances of him dominating and outpointing John Jones, not very likely. Just the quality and competition and heavyweight, the light heavyweight at that time was a lot different. It's a big jump off in competition. So
What do you mean? Stipe was able to take the greatest heavyweight in the whole world down and control him and win when it counted.
yeah, but DC should have been realistically DC probably could have been a 180.
No. I'm talking about Francis. He took Francis down and controlled him. Didn't you
I thought
see
you were
the
talking about
goddamn
Glover.
Don Davis interview? Francis is the greatest of all time.
That dude, I don't get anybody.
I just wanted to give you a little bit of shit for fun.
No.
All right, so we ran 3 hours on that card, and I don't want to cut anybody off, but listen, real quick before we get out of here, I don't know if Usman did fight announcements, so I always love to do those. Did you do them, or are we skipping them this week, Usman? Because it doesn't matter to me. I love them, but it doesn't matter.
Damn, so I didn't get to get them together. I can go ahead and pull them up and we can do them because I know there was a lot.
Let's see if there's any bangers on there. But
They're all bad.
is anybody betting Mike Tyson, Jake Paul?
If I had a lot of my pot, tire back rolling, Jake Paul.
Money's coming in on Mike Tyson. I'll tell you that. People are starting to believe, man.
And if you watch the training footage, man, he still looks like Mike Tyson. It's just, is the cardio going to be there? Because if it's not, Jake Paul could knock him out.
I think
I know.
I'm touching Jake Paul KO.
I know. At one point, they were using old footage from whenever he was training for event. No, it was Evander. No, who did he box? The
Roy
For Roy
Jones.
Jones? Yeah, but that was only for the initial trailer release, like before they could get into camp. That was a while back. That's like before Mike would have been in camp, and Jake already was.
film.
You're kind of breaking up, Trace.
I thought he looked so bad that they were just using old film.
No, I think it happened like because Jake already had training footage and Mike didn't, and they wanted to drop a trailer. But here's what I'm going to say real quick. I'm going to comment on what Mike said. I am maybe the biggest Mike Tyson fan you have ever met. Everybody in here has heard me say it 20 times. I have watched his entire career on DVD at least 50 times. I used to watch it every day. I didn't have cable or internet at this place I was staying, and I had like 3 movies my old lady liked, and I had the Mike Tyson DVD set. I literally watched that shit like every fucking day. He does not look like Mike Tyson anymore.
But
He looks good for a 58-year-old man.
at the same time, I feel like if there's one guy that they're not, if this shit is rigged, if there's one guy they're not gonna let him knock out, is Mike Tyson. So maybe Jake Paul by points is a good look. If it ain't, I don't know, but yeah. If I'm playing a prop in this, I'm playing Jake by points.
So I'm very serious about betting the draw. I know I put it in the
Yeah, I was
chat.
about to say that, Joe. Yeah.
I know I put it in the chat. I don't know if I put it in our team chat where we talk about getting the spaces done or the group chat. But yeah, I'm betting the draw. I'm really gonna bet the draw. It will be. I will have that bet.
Gotta mention Jake Paul. No, Jake Paul's
So,
playing like they hate each other, and maybe they do, but at the end of the day, you gotta Paul respect them, or I respect him enough not to try and embarrass him. You know what I'm saying?
No, so that's not even it for me. Um, Listen, man, I believe in the purity of MMA, and shit has been rigged. And I know that there's been some fishy shit, and I know some guys have been caught. I know the history of it. I'm not fucking ignorant to it. But for the mass part, um, I love the purity of MMA, and I can say that happily. Boxing, however, ooh, I used to love me some boxing. Boxing is rigged. Boxing is not real. It's real sometimes. It's probably real way more times than it's not. It's just a general blanket statement. But boxing is not real. And Tyron Woodley said that Jake Paul had a no knockout clause in the first after the first fight, and then he redacted that statement and pulled it back, and then got knocked out cold in the second fight. Um, Mike Tyson went to that fishy draw with Roy Jones Jr., which was on a Jake Paul card. Um, yeah, I smell it, man. Fight goes to draw. And if it does big enough numbers, Paul versus Tyson 2 in 6 months. And it'll do massive fucking numbers if it's a good fight. If it's not competitive at all, it won't. Like even if it goes to draw, um, if it just looks like some sloppy shit in there, whatever, low end boxing acting type shit, it won't be a big deal. But if it's a competitive fight and goes to draw, especially if they're smart and Mike comes on late and he's rallying and everybody's like, oh, Mike Tyson. And then he runs out of time and it goes to draw and Mike got screwed. Um, yeah, I just understand the marketing giant that is behind boxing, and I understand that Jake Paul has already scammed people several times and been caught, and nobody gives a fuck. Um, yeah, I'm betting the draw
That's Logan.
100%. Uh, Let Ozzy get after it.
yeah, I was just continuing on what you were saying, Joe. The draw, yeah, I hit that as well. I got it at 12-1. I can see you can still get it 10-1. But these are 2 minute rounds. You know how hard it is to score a 2 minute round? I mean, these scores are going to be all over the place. I like the split decision, majority draw, everything crazy. Any crazy number you can get on a result, you should probably play in this fight. I think it probably goes the distance. I wouldn't be surprised if they both are afraid of getting hit. I mean, this fight, a little bit of clinching and warnings from that takes a bit of time off the clock each round. So, yeah, I can see this going the distance in 2 minute what is it, eight rounds, 2 minutes a round, a minute rest in between each round. I'm not too concerned about the cardio. Obviously, he might get just one hit quitted out of there, but if this goes the distance, expect some shifty, crazy, weird scores, results. Yeah, I like the draw. I'll definitely fight ends in split, flight, majority decision. Anything that's really crazy numbers that stand out, definitely hit that.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I really, I think this is a beware fight, and I don't mean anything weird by it. Just like as a better open eyes here, like be open to the fact that this might not be everything we think it is. They already delayed it. They already postponed it. They already put it off. Um, Maybe they had to come to new terms. Maybe Mike's health took a down, and they said, well, let's do it with no knockout clauses, Mike. Let's do it this way, Mike. Let's still make this happen. You're a legend. Jake Paul sending out Mike Tyson, I love you fucking tweets now. I don't know, man. I think something fishy is in the water. That's wholehearted. I really do. I hope Mike knocks him out fucking cold. I hope he levels him. I think the chances are Jake levels him if it's a real fight. But yeah, I think it's fishy. YB, get a pen and a pad. Look up Edfluence. Look up Team 10 membership program. Look up Mystery Boxes 2020 Jake Paul. Look up Safe Moon, Pump and Dump Jake Paul. Look up the Anti Fund with Jake Paul. Look up the Dink Donk NFT with Jake Paul. He's been accused of scamming people in every single one of those.
I just wanted to be sure you weren't mixing it with Logan because they're both fucking scumbags.
Oh, they're both scumbags. Logan did that zoo fucking whatever fucking crypto where he fucked everybody. Yeah, they're fucking complete scumbags. Like, they like scam people and then pretend it didn't happen until they get sued and have to fucking pay. Yeah, whatever. They're fucking shitbags. But anyways, I think
Can't even find a lot of
I
Jake
think
Paul and Mike Tyson on every other fight but that one.
so. Like Trace, you're a guy who doesn't really get into any of the funny talk about fights. You think I'm crazy?
What's
that?
as far as what?
The draw fixed.
Oh no, boxing. Like boxing, I'm 100. I think there's corruption in all sports to a degree. Mostly at the higher levels. Like obviously they're not going to be fixing low level boxing fights. I think it's pure up until you get a name and multiple belts under your name, then they start fixing fights for for belts and shit like that. But maybe some in the high level of the UFC, mostly your main events where most of your weird decisions come out. But no, I don't think it's weird. I feel like that draw is probably a good play, and from from a boxing standpoint, it doesn't help having if you're fixing shit, having a young guy that's just an influencer start knocking out your legends. So yeah, I think some respect is paid to Tyson. I feel like if there's a no knockout clause, there's probably one for Tyson.
Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously, I agree with that. Usman, what's your take on that fight? And are you betting any
I
of
did have
it?
a question though. Does anybody have a take on the Serrano Taylor fight though? Like that fight's basically a pick 'em. Does anybody have a lean on that one?
Hasn't Katie Taylor looked a little slower
Old as
and
fuck.
washed in these last two fights?
Oh, you said it nicer than me.
I'm definitely not in the shower right now. That's not what you hear in the background, but take Amanda by money line. She's going to win that fight hands down.
So I was thinking goes the distance, and then you can touch whichever fighter you want by decision. But they brawled like they did a crazy fucking war last time, and for it to be on Netflix, they gotta bring the heat and make it just as nasty. Uh,
You might
so
as well the money line for Taylor. It's the decision is plus 100, and so is her money line.
I might think about Serrano KO.
Serrano's the underdog right now.
Serrano KO plus 500.
Yeah, I mean, I just gotta expect these girls to come out here and just beat the living shit out of each other. And like I said, I feel like Taylor, her last two fights, she's kind of looked like she's losing a step. Um, so might as well take a shot, Serrano.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Does anybody have the 309 lines up in front of them?
I can
Just
put
give
it, bring it
it.
up.
Is that this
Can
weekend
anybody
or
like?
the next pay-per-view?
No, that's this pay
I
per
don't
view.
care. Can anybody?
Yeah.
Can anybody bring up the card real quick and just tell me what the draw numbers are like on the last 3 or 4 fights? I can't see that where I'm at. I don't even have a place to get it.
You said draw?
Jones fight
Yeah, what?
for all three. I'm assuming they're gonna be the same. Plus 6,600 for Jones. Where why is Oliveira way the hell down here? Plus 6,600 for the Oliveira fight, and then Craig and Bo Nickel are the featured, right? Plus 6,600. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bet Online only offers the 6,600.
the 6,600. All right. So like if you look at like Usyk versus Tyson Fury plus 1,400. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano draw plus 1,200. Um, let's see. Oh, I know there's a couple more fights people on here will know. The
I got
McCain, David
a
Allen, John.
little parlay for the UFC 309. If you like
So my point. Sorry, Trace. My point, real quick, is the draw for the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight is only plus 800. That's dog shit.
800, that's low.
Yeah, that's dog shit for a draw. So just point that out. I'm still playing it plus 800. Man, I don't know what I'm going to play it with, but I'm probably going to even parlay it with some shit because I'm a greedy motherfucker. Trace, go ahead.
Yeah, just like a sneaky little parlay I just found was if you like the overs for the John Jones fight to start round 2 minus 240, and the Oliveira fight to start round 2 minus 174 plus 123. So you get a plus 100 basically for a should be an easy cash.
Nice. Nice. Um, you know how I feel about the John Jones fight, but hey, Mike, I don't think I asked you. You got any locked must play plays before we get out of here? You got anything that has to get played on the card?
Uh, okay. So what I did was put a parlay together that we all agree on unanimously,
Okay.
and that's the Hafez and Elliott fight going over 2.5. The Jackson Miller fight going over 1.5. The Eryk Anders fight going over 2.5. Karine Silva money line and Marcus McGhee money line, and that's a plus 577.
Oh, that's a nice play.
Yeah,
That's a real nice play. I like that. Um, I like that one. I wish I could get all the lines right now. I would drop all my slips right in the fucking
I might add.
in the chat. I hate.
I was just gonna say I might add Amanda Serrano, man. I'm such a huge fan of hers. And dog money, why not?
Any of you guys use Bet Online? I've heard such shit stories, like even over a couple $100 some fucking people. I've heard so many stories, bro. It just makes me be like, man, I do not want to bet with them guys.
They
I know
haven't
they
fucked
send
me.
me emails no matter how many times I fucking unsubscribe from their shit. They constantly send me emails. I've unsubscribed 15 fucking times.
Oh, well, that's a fucking nuisance. Um, man, anything else, Mike?
No, not really.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Usman, any good announcements before we
We
bail?
got 12, and we can run through them all real quick.
Run him.
Montana De La Rosa versus Luana Carolina, UFC TBA, March 1st.
No one cares about that fight.
Alrighty. Miranda Maverick's new opponent, Jamie Lynn Horth, will be fighting Miranda Maverick on December 14th at UFC Tampa.
Miranda Maverick just moved to inside the distance. Let's fucking go.
Another Fallout. kind of sucks for Miles Johns. He was getting the big star treatment against Cody Garbrandt. Now on UFC Tampa, December 14th, Miles Johns will be facing Felipe Lima.
Ooh, that's a really big fight for him.
Yeah, that's a good fucking matchup right there.
It is, but like that's kind of the shit treatment. He was like you said, he was getting the Cody Garbrandt rollout.
Okay.
Cody Garbrandt's a household name, bro. You know what I mean? For MMA fans. He was getting the rollout service. Now they're like, here, go fight this guy. Nobody can remember his name. We'll find you something
And
later.
he seems like he's a monster.
Yeah, this might not go your way either, kid. Good luck.
Ooh. Oh, dude, yeah. This guy's good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just looked him up. I forgot who he is, but now I remember. Ugh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a shit fight for Miles Johns. A couple of old men are gonna be throwing it down at UFC Vegas 101, January 11th. Santiago Ponzinibbio will fight Carlston Harris.
Okay.
Seems like a Ponzi fight. Um, a couple of guys that you know, but you can't remember. Nurolo Aliyev will fight Yanal Ashmos, UFC Vegas 101, January 11th.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ronald's
hell
coming off of
yeah.
a loss, and Ashmos is coming off of a win, right?
I think Ashmos is coming off of a loss.
Yeah,
I
Osmos
mean,
is
I got that.
no, Osmos he beat Trevor Peak, right?
Yeah.
Did he? I thought he lost to Peak.
Did he? No, he beat fucking
No,
Trevor
he
Peak,
beat
didn't he?
Peak. Yeah, he beat Peak via decision, and Narulo Aliyev is undefeated. Aliyev
Okay.
should be the side.
I don't think that's the guy I think it is. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, he bit some. I think he bit somebody. Yeah, he bit Rafael Alves and lost the point. A
Yeah,
year
fuck that guy.
ago.
Fuck that guy.
But he's a better wrestler. He should win.
And if not, he'll bite him.
All right. UFC 312, February 8th. Assumed to be the Australian card. We've got a couple of no chins gonna throw it down. Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio.
I mean, that's a fun fight to watch. I'm not like telling my buddy to tune in, but I'm not mad that's on a card.
Why did I think Jimmy Crute retired?
Jimmy Crute has done a lot of things in his career, buddy. We don't know what they are.
He may have retired. He may have.
Speaking of not knowing who they are, what they are, Quillen Salkeld will fight Anshu Jubli, UFC 312, February 8th. Jubli, known for being barked at by Mark Breeden and losing, crumbling in the third round in a fight he was winning. And then the UFC let go of Mark Breeden.
Poor Mark Breeden.
Now, Mike, don't take your pants off just yet. I got a fighter you'll love to hear about. Ray Saruya is fighting Stuart Nickal, same card, UFC 312, February 8th.
I don't think Mike cares.
No, he's too busy.
Oh, my mic was off. I was saying, y'all know how I like my Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah, and this is both of these dudes. Well, obviously the other one is not Australian, but it's in the home territory for both of them, basically. So I think they're doing Ray Saruya a good justice and an easy layup. Stuart Nickal,
Well,
isn't he the
yeah.
guy that got like broken and knocked out in like 30 seconds?
No, he got submitted by Jesus Aguilar.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Who did Aguilar? Didn't Aguilar sleep another Australian in like 30 seconds?
Yeah, that was who was it? Ross? Shannon Ross.
Shannon Ross. There you go. Good job. Good job. This one's gonna be an absolute banger. I think it should be a main event. Joe is gonna get pissed off about it. Edson Barboza versus Steve Garcia, February 22nd.
Anybody on Garcia? That feels like really like that's a fight Garcia can win.
It feels like he can pin him to the fence and melt him, right?
Yeah, like he goes
Uh,
hard,
it's
Come on. Go
but
ahead,
it's
Joe.
wrestling, bro. You know, this dude's a big wrestler that knows how to use his size, and he's so aggressive. Unless Barbosa catches him early, Garcia's gonna attack that dude.
Wrestles hard and punches every single chance he gets on the floor, on the fence, on the feet.
Either way, man, bet the under. That fight ain't going nowhere. Going to the judges.
So, UFC debutant Austin Bashi, undefeated, will be fighting Christian Rodriguez January 11th. See Rod continue the streak of taking the O from an undefeated prospect. We'll see.
Better than the last fight.
Well, if you thought that was better, we're just getting to the cream of the crop here because the Egyptian GOAT is finally back. Hamdi Abdel Wahab is fighting Jamal Pogues at UFC Saudi Arabia February 1st.
Why do they announce these fights?
Because it's the Egyptian GOAT. His name
Hey,
is Hamdi.
he was an Egyptian wrestler for the Olympics.
Yeah, dude.
He
He
is, huh?
dude. He's gonna. It's obvious. Like it's him.
He's gonna hump some guy into a submission in the middle of Saudi Arabia. We got it.
He's a
It's
little
easy.
bit older to be getting started, but he doesn't have much experience. But if he's able to stay clean and just use his wrestling, dude, he may not be a champion, but he'll be a force in that division for a while.
Yeah,
Because
to
like I
anybody
said,
who can't
We'll
wrestle.
see.
he also had bare like I said, I knew who he was before he came to the UFC because I watched him fight in bare knuckle boxing. He has two bare knuckle boxing knockouts as well.
Besides the knockouts, how did he actually look striking?
Oh, dude, it's what you expect. It was overhands. I mean, it wasn't nothing clean and crisp, but like the kid's powerful. Like he
Okay.
he, he hit he hit them boys and they didn't want to fight anymore.
Okay.
So take do with that with what you will. You know, it's bare knuckle against guys that never made it to the UFC. So, like I'm just saying, he does have KO power. He does have finishing ability. And if the card is there, he is going to be a problem.
All right, we'll see. We'll see where he goes. Usman, what else is there? Save something good for
Oh
last.
man, we'll have to run through the whole card again because we forgot a fight. Lucas
Which
Almeida
one
is
is?
out of his fight with David Onama this weekend. Stepping in will be the 20th Mexican fighter on the roster, Roberto Romero.
Oh,
Ooh.
yay.
I don't know who
No
that
What?
lights
is.
up, nothing known. You got to think David Onama's going to get a win. But that's the last fight. There you go. Flew through it.
All right, just so everybody's aware, Nick Diaz is smoking meth or some shit.
Bro, he was
You guys see?
picking flowers and doing
He
the
was
she
trying to
loves
light him
me, she
on
loves me
fire,
not.
bro.
He had
Nick, you all right? Yeah, what?
he had too much.
Come on,
He
bro.
was on a good trip, bro.
They're out in Cali, right? Where drugs aren't a crime and crack smokers walk around not get in trouble.
Yeah,
He was
sounds about right.
shrooms, bro. Like, he was just having a good time. Probably
Uh,
camping somewhere.
I'll be honest, man. I don't think that was shrooms. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of drugs, man.
You're probably right. I have no experience with him.
He if I'm being sincere, I think he's on meth. That shit is the behavior of someone on meth, bro. Like, I see you. Stay away from my house over there. Not you, buddy. Like, those people are something weird, man. And he was acting strange as fuck. So anyway, fade Nick Diaz.
like an annoying 8-year-old.
Listen, he's broke, so he's got to fight. So fade his ass. That's all I'm getting at. He's on the dope, so he's probably broke. So fade him. He needs it, man. Whatever. I'm just saying. Call me an asshole. I don't care. They're not people when I'm betting. They're not. Whoever came in this space and said that one day, I was like, yeah, that's on point. They're not people when I'm betting. I don't fucking care. I love certain fighters. You know what I mean? I'm not Charles Oliveira, bro. I love the guy. I'm betting Mike Chandler. I don't see Charles as all that shit when I'm betting. I think Mike's the read. I'm taking Mike. So yeah, whatever. Anyways, thanks for hitting the announcements, Usman. Thank you to the co-host, Mike, or Trace, Mike, Usman. Deb Pick's schedule seemed to change. He don't get around here much, but he always still gets us uploaded tomorrow. YouTube soon. Shout out to everybody that comes in here and listens. All the regulars, Ozzy, you're the man, always on the mic. YB, in the group or in the spaces and in the chats, and everybody else. Everybody in here, I think, is a regular right now that I recognize. So I can't see everybody. It says +4, but everybody I see is a regular, and I recognize. I thank you guys all. Do you want to say something before I end it, Usman?
Nah, let's go to bed.
Oh, remember this? Hey, Usman. All right, bro. Listen, text this to yourself so you don't forget. All right. You ready?
I'm listening.
This is a bet. John Jones is the pound for pound GOAT.